Before you can manifest anything, you must understand this divine truth. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. The universe does not listen to words, it responds to energy. It hears the vibration behind your thoughts, the tone of your feelings, the faith within your silence. So today, we begin not by asking, but by becoming, not by chasing, but by aligning, not by forcing, but by flowing. Because the moment you become the vibration of what you desire, it has no choice but to find you. I am the vibration of all that I desire. I do not chase, I attract. I am aligned with the energy of my answered prayers. Look around you, everything you see was once invisible. The chair, the house, the clothes you wear, the money you hold. All were once thoughts. Imagination given permission to exist. Creation begins in consciousness. Everything begins with being. If you want to manifest more peace, be peace. If you want more love, be loving. If you want abundance, be grateful. If you want miracles, be expectant. Every be becomes your becoming. I am peace. I am love. I am abundance in form. I am open to miracles in motion. The divine law is simple. You can only receive what you are ready to host. You cannot hold prosperity with a poverty mindset. You cannot hold love while speaking lack. The cup must match the pour. So instead of asking, when will I receive? Ask, who must I become to receive? I am ready to host miracles. My energy is a perfect match to divine overflow. I am worthy of everything good. The world will teach you to work harder, push stronger, do more. But divine law whispers something gentler. Be more. Because when you become, effort fades and alignment rises. When your energy is right, things fall into place without struggle. Doors open with ease. People appear at the perfect time. Opportunities align with divine precision. You do not have to fight for what is already yours. You only have to align with it. And alignment is not movement, it is being. I am in alignment with divine order. I no longer chase, I allow. What belongs to me is magnetized to me now. Every manifestation is simply an echo of who you have decided to be. When you decide to be peaceful, chaos cannot reach you. When you decide to be abundant, lack cannot stay. When you decide to be joyful, sadness loses its power. When you decide to be faith itself, miracles rush to meet you. I choose peace. I choose joy. I choose abundance. I choose divine faith that never wavers. The power is not in the doing, it's in the being. Doing flows from being. Action becomes inspired when energy is aligned. The secret is not in forcing life, but in harmonizing with its rhythm. When you align, life begins to cooperate with you. The right ideas come, the right people arrive, and the impossible begins to look easy. Life cooperates with my energy. Everything I need comes to me with ease and grace. I am walking in divine rhythm. You are not a beggar of blessings, you are a creator of reality. You are not separate from the divine. You are its expression. You are the word made flesh, the thought made form, the divine spark made visible. So stop asking for the light. Remember that you are the light. I am the light of divine abundance. I am the living word of my answered prayer. The divine expresses through me now. When you be, Everything you desire must appear, not because you forced it, but because you finally matched it. Manifestation is the law of mirrors. As within, so without. As you feel, so you attract. As you believe, so it becomes. My inner world creates my outer world. My belief makes it real. My feeling calls it forth. So today, before we walk through these 10 divine keys, let this truth settle deep into your soul. You are already manifesting every moment. Through your being, your vibration, your state of awareness. To change what you receive, you must first change what you are. I am ready to embody the vibration of abundance. I am becoming the version of me that already has it all. I am one with divine intelligence, and it works through me perfectly. Take a slow breath. Place your hand over your heart. Feel the rhythm of your divine existence. You are not waiting for your miracle. Your miracle is waiting for you to remember who you are. Now whisper this truth. I am clear. I am open. I am willing. I am happy. I am focused. I am expectant. I am energetic. I am positive. I am true. I am grateful. And because I am, everything I desire is already mine. Clarity is the foundation of creation. The universe cannot deliver confusion. It mirrors what you mean, not what you mumble. It responds to your conviction, not your contradiction. When you are unclear, your energy speaks in two voices, one of faith and one of fear. And when those voices collide, the divine pauses, waiting for your certainty. Because God never rushes confusion, He waits for your alignment. I am clear about what I desire. My clarity commands creation. The universe hears my certainty and moves in my favor. So I ask you now, not what you want, but are you clear about it? Because clarity is not in the words you speak, it is in the vibration you live. Clarity means your thoughts, your feelings, and your faith all point in one direction. Clarity is not saying, I want abundance, while feeling fear about money. It's not declaring, I want love, while believing you're unworthy of it. True clarity is harmony between your desire and your belief. My belief and my desire agree. There is no conflict within me. I am one with what I desire. Confusion is noise. Clarity is music. When your heart and mind sing the same melody, the universe begins to dance. The divine does not respond to begging or trying. It responds to vibration. And clarity creates vibration faster than effort ever could. If you're unsure of what you want, life becomes unsure of how to serve you. Your external world can only echo your internal knowing. That's why the first spiritual law of manifestation says, before the world can know, you must know. I know who I am. I know what I desire. I am aligned with the vibration of certainty. Clarity is a choice. It's deciding that you no longer live in the gray. It's choosing to be definite about what you deserve. It's saying, this is mine under grace, and I will not settle for less. When you become clear, the universe doesn't hesitate. People shift, paths appear, ideas form, and doors open. Clarity sends out a signal stronger than words. It declares to the invisible, I am ready. I am ready to receive. I am certain about my path. Everything aligns with my decision. To be clear is to make peace with decision. You are not meant to manifest through doubt. You are meant to manifest through direction. The most powerful prayer is not, "God, tell me what to do," but, "God, show me how to move clearly in what I already know is mine." When you are clear, you stop looking for signs, because life itself becomes the sign. Synchronicities follow the certain. Miracles chase the decided. My decision is divine. I move with holy confidence. Every step I take confirms my direction. Do not confuse clarity with control. You do not need to know how, you only need to know what. The how belongs to the universe. Your clarity gives the divine a clear instruction. When you say, "I don't know how, but I know it's done," you free the energy to move mountains for you. The how is not my work. The what is already complete. The universe handles the details perfectly. Be clear with your words, but even clearer with your energy. The tongue can say one thing, but the heart always tells the truth. You cannot speak light while feeling fear, nor affirm abundance while expecting loss. That's why the master manifester speaks less and feels more. They don't repeat to convince, they repeat to align. I align before I act. I affirm what I already know is true. My clarity radiates through my vibration. Remember, divine clarity doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It doesn't beg for proof. It simply decides and rests. Because when you know, you no longer need to chase. You understand that the moment you claim it, the universe begins arranging it. What I have asked for is already on its way. I live in the knowing, not the waiting. I am calm because I am clear. When Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "The invisible forces are ever working for man who is always working for them," she meant this. The clearer your intention, the faster creation moves. Your job is to send one message, not many. Say it once with faith, feel it once with love, and live as if it's already done. I no longer repeat my prayers, I embody them. My energy speaks louder than words. My clarity is my magnet. Clarity turns vibration into matter. It's the difference between hoping and knowing. When you are clear, life becomes simple. You wake up in purpose. You speak with certainty. You walk in alignment. And every blessing you once chased begins finding you. Not because you did more, but because you became clear. I am clear about who I am. I am clear about what I desire. And because I am clear, everything is already mine. When your heart is closed, blessings cannot enter. When your mind is shut, divine ideas cannot reach you. When your spirit is guarded by fear, even miracles stand at the door, waiting for your permission to enter. To manifest what you desire, you must first become open. To be open is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is saying to the universe, I trust your timing, your way, and your surprises. It is no longer insisting that things must unfold exactly as you planned, but allowing the divine to show you something better. I am open to divine possibilities. I am open to receiving in ways I cannot yet imagine. The universe knows how to bless me better than I do. Most people block their own miracles, not because they are unworthy, but because they are unwilling. They pray for change, yet resist it when it comes. They ask for signs, yet ignore them when they appear. They seek guidance, yet fear the steps that follow. But openness means faith in motion, the quiet confidence that says, even if I don't understand, I trust. I am willing to be guided. I trust the unknown, for I am never alone. Every change carries a blessing for me. To be open is to release control and create space for miracles. When your hands are full of old energy of what hurt you, who left you, what failed, there is no room for what's trying to enter. Divine order cannot fill a clenched hand. You must open to receive. You must trust that what's meant for you will never require you to force. I open my hands and let go. I open my heart to new beginnings. I open my life to divine flow. The river never questions where it's going, it simply flows. And because it flows, it reaches the ocean. The wind never doubts its direction, it simply moves. And because it moves, it touches everything. The same divine flow lives in you. When you resist, you dam the river. When you surrender, the current carries you exactly where you are meant to be. I flow with life. I trust the current of divine order. I am carried by the river of blessings. Sometimes, the answers to your prayers come disguised as endings. Sometimes, the blessing looks like loss before it looks like light. That's why openness is not just about receiving good things. It's about trusting even the things you didn't ask for. Because every divine plan begins with disruption, and every closed door is a sign that something greater is on its way. Even what leaves is working for me. Even what I don't understand is aligning for my good. I stay open to divine redirection. To be open is to welcome mystery, to let the infinite intelligence of life lead the way. The ego seeks control. The spirit seeks alignment. The ego says, I must know every detail. The spirit says, I am guided step by step. And when you choose spirit over fear, your steps are ordered, your timing is perfect, and your blessings multiply with grace. I am guided, not guessing. My path unfolds with perfect timing. I trust each step I take. Openness is not about doing nothing, it's about doing from flow, not from force. When you are open, your actions are inspired. You no longer move from anxiety or desperation, but from divine direction. Every word you speak, every thought you think, every decision you make, it comes from a place of calm knowing, all is well, and I am safe. I move when divinely guided. I act with peace and power. I trust that I am always in the right place at the right time. When you open your heart, life begins to mirror it. People appear, ideas flow, opportunities align. Suddenly, what once felt far begins to come close. It's not luck, it's energy. Because what you are open to, you attract. And what you resist, persists. I am open to abundance. I am open to joy. I am open to love, wealth, and wisdom in divine proportion. Do not fear being vulnerable before the universe. You are not weak when you trust. You are powerful when you surrender. Faith is openness clothed in peace. Surrender is openness clothed in courage. When you open, you say, I am ready to be blessed beyond logic. And the universe replies, then let it be so. I am ready to receive the blessings prepared for me. My openness is my invitation to miracles. Everything I am open to flows to me. You cannot be open and fearful at the same time. Fear closes. Faith opens. Worry blocks. Gratitude attracts. Choose openness again and again until it becomes your natural state. Say it, believe it, live it. I am open to divine flow. I am open to ease and abundance. I am open to the life I have prayed for. And as you do, the divine takes note, not of your words, but of your vibration, and begins arranging everything you once thought you had to chase. Because what you are open to will always find you. Willingness is the bridge between wanting and receiving. It is the moment your spirit says, I am ready to be moved. You may have clarity, you may be open, but without willingness, you stand still at the doorway of your own miracle. To be willing means you release your grip on how things must look. You give the divine permission to surprise you. You say, I trust you more than I trust my plan. And in that trust, transformation begins. I am willing to be guided. I am willing to be changed. I am willing to receive in divine ways. Most people pray for blessings but resist the lessons that bring them. They want expansion, but not the stretching that precedes it. They want miracles, but not the movement that creates them. But divine law never violates free will. It waits for your yes. The universe will not force what you fear to allow. I say yes to divine instruction. I say yes to new growth. My willingness activates divine movement. When you become willing, you become teachable. And when you are teachable, you are transformable. God can only work with what is surrendered. If you are unwilling to release the old, the new cannot enter. The door to your next blessing opens from the inside through willingness. I am willing to release the past. I am willing to see things differently. My heart is open to new beginnings. Willingness does not require knowing every detail. It is not blind, it is brave. It means saying, even if I don't see the path, I'll take the step. Faith builds the bridge as you walk it. Each step of willingness is followed by divine confirmation. Each moment of surrender is rewarded with guidance. Each step I take is guided by divine wisdom. I walk in faith, not in fear. My willingness makes the way clear. The unwilling heart says, not yet. The willing heart says, now. And life responds immediately to the heart that says, now. Willingness quickens manifestation. It signals readiness to the universe. It declares that your energy is no longer in waiting but in movement. I am ready now. My willingness is my signal to the universe. I am a magnet for divine momentum. Sometimes, divine will calls you toward what feels unfamiliar. It leads you into rooms where your old identity cannot enter. It removes people, patterns, and places that cannot hold your next chapter. Willingness is the courage to walk through those doors without resistance, to trust that what you lose in comfort, you gain in purpose. I trust divine redirection. I let go of what cannot come with me. Every ending makes space for a beginning. To be willing is to live in spiritual cooperation. It is to stop saying, why me? And start saying, use me. It is the moment you stop asking the universe to prove itself and instead say, show me how I can serve divine order. When you become willing, you align yourself with the power that creates worlds. And that power begins to express itself through you easily, gracefully, gloriously. I am a vessel of divine expression. I am willing to be used for the highest good. Divine will and my will are one. Willingness turns delay into direction. The moment you say yes, the energy that was stuck begins to move again. People appear, resources align, doors open, because divine order rushes to meet those who are willing to walk. My yes opens doors. Everything moves in my favor when I am willing. I walk in the flow of divine momentum. You may not feel ready, but willingness does not wait for readiness. It creates readiness. It calls forth divine strength from within you. It whispers, even if you don't know how, begin. And the moment you begin, the universe begins too. My willingness is enough. I begin now with divine support. I trust that every step is guided. Place your hand on your heart now. Whisper softly, I am willing to receive. I am willing to change. I am willing to trust the divine plan. And as you speak these words, something shifts quietly, powerfully, eternally. Because the universe always moves in the direction of a willing heart. My willingness invites miracles. My yes activates divine timing. Everything I am willing to allow flows into my life now. Willingness is the soul's declaration that it is ready to evolve. It is your sacred agreement with the universe, an energetic signature that says, I am available for grace. And when you are available for grace, grace rushes to find you. Happiness is not something you find, it is something you decide. It is not at the end of a goal or the result of a miracle. It is the magnet that draws miracles in. To manifest everything you desire, you must learn to vibrate joy before the evidence appears. Because happiness is not a reaction, it is creation. The universe is musical. It listens not to words, but to tones. And joy is the highest tone there is. When you are happy, you become the song heaven recognizes. Every blessing in divine storage begins to vibrate toward you because it knows your sound. My joy is my magnet. I am happy now, and blessings hurry to find me. Happiness is my natural vibration. People spend years waiting for happiness. They say, I'll be happy when I succeed. I'll be happy when I'm loved. I'll be happy when I have enough. But divine law works in reverse. You must first be happy, and then the things you thought you needed to be happy arrive. Because happiness is not the result, it is the cause. I choose happiness before the manifestation. My joy is the proof of my faith. Because I am happy, everything aligns for me. Joy is not naive. It is not pretending everything is perfect. It is the powerful knowing that everything is working in perfect order, even when it doesn't look that way. Joy says, I see the divine in this too. Joy says, I trust the light even in the dark. And when you choose joy in the middle of uncertainty, you call in miracles faster than any prayer could. I keep my joy no matter what changes. My peace does not depend on circumstances. I am joy in motion, faith in form, love made visible. The energy of happiness is healing. It dissolves worry. It repels lack. It strengthens your aura. When you are joyful, your energy field glows, and the universe cannot resist that light. It brings you people who match your laughter, places that feel like peace, and ideas that prosper you easily. My happiness multiplies my blessings. My joy heals every situation I touch. I radiate positive energy everywhere I go. To be happy is to be grateful. Gratitude and joy are the twin frequencies of abundance. When you are thankful, you expand. When you are happy, you receive. When you are both, you become unstoppable. Because joy tells the universe, I already have what I need. And that vibration calls more to you. I am grateful now. I am happy now. I live in the overflow of both. Sometimes happiness is a choice you must make in faith, not because everything feels easy, but because your soul knows joy is sacred power. You smile when you could complain. You bless what you could criticize. You thank life when it tests you. And in doing so, you rise above the vibration of resistance. I choose joy over fear. I bless the lessons that shaped me. I turn every challenge into gratitude. Remember this truth. Happiness is not loud, it's radiant. It doesn't need to shout. It glows quietly, and that glow attracts everything good. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth. Just stay in your joy, and your vibration will speak for you. My joy silently attracts miracles. My light is enough. The universe responds to my peace. The happiest people are not those who have the most, but those who see the most. They notice beauty in small things, miracles in ordinary moments, and grace in the unseen. Joyful eyes find heaven everywhere they look. Because heaven is not a place, it's a perception. I see beauty in everything. I find joy in the present moment. My happiness expands with every breath. True happiness is contagious. It blesses more than just you. When you walk into a room filled with light, darkness has no choice but to fade. Your joy becomes prayer for others. Your laughter becomes healing for those who have forgotten how to smile. Your peace becomes a sanctuary for weary souls. You don't have to preach joy, you become it. My joy uplifts everyone around me. I am a living reminder of divine peace. Through my happiness, others remember their light. Take a breath now, a joyful breath. Let it fill your chest with light. Let your smile rise, even if it's small. Feel the warmth spreading through your heart. This is divine energy in motion. This is you aligning with creation. Whisper to yourself, I am happy because I am whole. I am happy because I am free. I am happy because everything is unfolding perfectly. And as you say it, you will feel the shift. Because happiness is not an emotion that follows life. It is a decision that leads it. The happy soul is the magnetic soul. The happy heart is the receiving heart. And the happy mind is the creative mind. So today, choose joy before proof. Smile before evidence. Be grateful before reason. And watch how the universe rearranges itself to meet your happiness with miracles. Focus is the direction of creation. It is the spiritual lens that turns energy into matter. You cannot hit a target you refuse to look at, and you cannot manifest a vision you keep changing. Divine law responds to consistency. The universe does not listen to noise, it listens to direction. When your attention wavers, your vibration weakens. But when your focus sharpens, everything aligns with your intent. My focus is my power. What I give attention to expands. My energy moves in one divine direction. Many people are not lacking opportunity. They are lacking focus. They scatter their power across worry, distraction, and doubt, then wonder why nothing seems to take shape. But manifestation is not magic, it's mastery. It's the ability to hold your vision steady when the world tempts you to forget it. I keep my eyes on the outcome, not the obstacle. My focus is stronger than distraction. I stay centered on divine purpose. The universe is exact. It mirrors your dominant vibration. Not what you wish for occasionally, but what you consistently believe, think, and feel. That's why clarity begins the process, but focus keeps it alive. Focus feeds the seed of manifestation until it bears fruit. I feed my vision with focus and faith. My consistency manifests miracles. Every day, I move closer to divine completion. Think of sunlight. When spread across a field, it warms. But when concentrated through a lens, it burns through matter. That is, focus the power to direct light with precision. Your thoughts are rays of divine energy. When scattered, they comfort. When focused, they create. You were not meant to chase, you were meant to concentrate. My focused mind is a divine instrument. I direct my thoughts toward creation, not chaos. My attention is sacred energy, and I use it wisely. Focus is not force, it's flow with direction. It's not tension, it's intention. It doesn't mean controlling every outcome, but staying loyal to your vision, no matter the detours. You may rest, you may pause, but you never turn away from what's calling your spirit. I am loyal to my purpose. I stay focused even when it's quiet. My vision remains clear through every season. Distraction is the thief of destiny. It often doesn't come as chaos, it comes as comfort. It whispers, "Take your eyes off your dream, just for a while." But divine law rewards devotion, not convenience. You cannot plant your energy in fear today and expect faith to bloom tomorrow. I am disciplined with my focus. My energy obeys divine order. Every thought I choose becomes an act of creation. When your focus drifts to worry, gently bring it back. When your mind starts wandering into fear, return it to faith. You are not failing when you refocus. You are mastering the art of redirection. Focus is not perfection, it's persistence. Every time you bring your attention back to love, peace, and purpose, you strengthen your vibration and accelerate your manifestation. I return to peace again and again. My mind is trained toward abundance. Each moment of focus multiplies my results. The divine does not need 100 different requests. It needs one steady signal. The signal that says, "This is mine, under grace, in perfect timing." That is focus, unwavering, calm, certain. You don't need to shout to be heard by heaven. You only need to stay tuned to the vibration of what you desire. My steady vibration commands manifestation. I speak once with faith and then rest. I know that what is mine is already done. Focus requires faith in the unseen. Because when you plant a seed, you don't dig it up daily to check if it's growing. You water it, trust the process, and let time do its sacred work. In the same way, hold your vision, feed it with gratitude, protect it from doubt, and watch it sprout when the divine season arrives. I trust divine timing. My focus is faith in motion. My vision grows while I rest in peace. Stay focused on what you want, not on what you fear. Stay focused on abundance, not on the appearance of lack. Stay focused on health, not on the illusion of limitation. Whatever you focus on, you feed. Whatever you feed, grows. I feed peace, not panic. I feed love, not worry. I feed my future with divine focus. Now breathe in deeply. See your vision before you, bright, real, complete. Feel it as if it's already yours. Let every thought, every cell, every heartbeat align with it. This is focus. This is creation. This is divine partnership in action. Whisper softly, "I see it. I feel it. I know it is mine." And as you say it, your energy becomes the compass that guides all things toward you. Because the focused mind is the creative mind, and the creative mind is one with God. My focus aligns me with divine intelligence. My steady faith builds form in the unseen. My focus turns vibration into reality. And so it is. It is done. It is manifest under grace, in perfect timing, in divine order. Expectation is faith made visible. It is the quiet confidence that says, I already know it's done. You do not receive what you hope for. You receive what you expect. Hope looks forward to someday. Expectation lives in the now. When you are expectant, your entire being vibrates with assurance. Your thoughts, words, and actions move in divine harmony, as if the miracle has already occurred because spiritually it has. Expectation is not asking, it's preparing. You don't knock at a door you don't believe will open. You stand before it with gratitude, knowing it's already yours. I expect only good. I am calm because I know it is done. My expectation activates divine delivery. Expectation is the language of the soul that believes. It doesn't panic when things seem delayed. It doesn't complain when things change. It simply says, this too is part of the plan. Expectation doesn't rush divine timing. It trusts it. It knows that what is meant for you can never miss you. I trust divine timing. Nothing good passes me by. What is mine finds me effortlessly. To be expectant is to walk as if you already have it. It's to rise in the morning with gratitude for blessings unseen, to smile before the evidence appears, to live from the vibration of the answered prayer. You cannot live in disappointment and expect abundance. You cannot live in doubt and expect direction. Expectation requires alignment, not just in words, but in attitude. I carry the energy of completion. I live as if my miracle is already here. I thank the universe before I see the result. The expectant heart is magnetic. It pulls what it believes closer with every beat. You may not know when or how, but your energy tells the universe you are ready. Readiness is the highest vibration of faith. It's what transforms a wish into a reality. I am ready to receive. I am in full alignment with divine good. I expect the best, and the best finds me. Expectation does not argue with appearances. It looks beyond them. Even when things seem opposite of what you desire, expectation whispers, this is the rearranging. It knows that divine order is at work in every detail. When things fall apart, the expectant soul rejoices, for it knows they are simply falling into place. Everything is rearranging for my good. I stay calm as divine order unfolds. The unseen is always working in my favor. To expect is to believe without proof. It is to understand that manifestation is a process of divine gestation. You plant the seed of intention through clarity, you water it through focus, you nourish it through joy, and you harvest it through expectation. Expectation is the season of faith where patience blooms into results. I trust the process completely. My harvest is guaranteed. I rest in the knowing that my desires are growing. Expectation is powerful because it creates readiness in the unseen. It sends out a signal to the universe that says, prepare her, prepare him, the blessing is on its way. It aligns circumstances, introduces divine connections, and sets in motion invisible forces that bring your desire into form. What you expect, you prepare for. And what you prepare for manifests. I am prepared for abundance. I am prepared for miracles. My life is arranged for success and peace. Expectation is not arrogance, it is spiritual assurance. It's not forcing outcomes, it's trusting divine law. When you expect good, you honor God's promise of good. When you expect increase, you demonstrate faith in divine abundance. Expectation is gratitude in advance. A holy declaration that says, "It is done. I expect increase under grace. My good is certain, and I claim it now. All things are working together for my prosperity." Expectation turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. Because when you live in faith, everything becomes a sign. A delay becomes redirection. A detour becomes protection. Every moment becomes evidence that divine intelligence is orchestrating your life perfectly. Every delay hides a blessing. Every shift is divine movement. I expect grace in every situation. Take a deep breath now. Feel the energy of trust rising in your body, soft, steady, glowing. Let it move through your chest, your heart, your mind. This is the energy of divine expectation. Calm, magnetic, creative. You don't have to chase. You don't have to force. You simply have to stay in the knowing. Whisper to your soul, "I expect miracles. I expect peace. I expect divine favor in all I do." And as you speak it, the vibration of expectation fills your aura. It radiates outward like light breaking through clouds. And everything meant for you, every opportunity, every answered prayer, begins moving toward you faster than ever before. Because expectation is not waiting. Expectation is receiving. I live in constant expectation of good. I attract blessings by my calm faith. I expect, I receive, I rejoice. And so it is. It is done. It is manifest under grace, in perfect ways, in divine order. Energy is the language of the universe. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every feeling you feel, is energy in motion. The world does not respond to effort. It responds to energy. Your results are never random. They are reflections of your vibration. To manifest with grace, you must become a conductor of divine energy. I am a vessel of divine energy. My vibration radiates love, power, and peace. The energy I give is the energy I receive. There are two kinds of energy, forced and flowing. Forced energy pushes. Flowing energy allows. Forced energy struggles. Flowing energy trusts. When you are tired, anxious, or drained, your energy contracts. When you are joyful, inspired, and grateful, your energy expands, and so does your life. You were not created to grind against divine order. You were made to move with it. I move with ease, not effort. I flow with life instead of fighting it. Divine energy renews me with every breath. Energy is not created by action. It is renewed by alignment. When you do what lights your spirit, you plug yourself into the infinite source. When you do what drains you, you unplug from the divine circuit that powers creation. That is why true productivity is not working more. It's working from the vibration of joy. My joy fuels my success. I am powered by purpose, not pressure. Everything I do is energized by love. Do not mistake exhaustion for achievement. Divine law never demands burnout. The universe operates through rhythm, not rush. The ocean never hurries, yet everything arrives at its shore. The sun never strains to shine, yet the world revolves around its light. Likewise, your power lies in your energy, not your urgency. I work from rest, not resistance. My calmness is my strength. My energy is a sacred resource, and I use it wisely. To be energetic is to be alive in spirit. It's to walk with a spark that says, "I am guided, I am strong, I am radiant." You are the current through which divine ideas become visible. When you raise your vibration, you raise your results. When you lift your energy, you lift your entire reality. My energy is magnetic to miracles. I lift my vibration daily through love and gratitude. High energy attracts high blessings. When you feel low, do not judge yourself, just recharge. The same way a lamp does not apologize for needing electricity, your soul should not apologize for needing stillness. Silence recharges. Gratitude recharges. Nature, prayer, music, and laughter. These are divine energy sources. Protect your frequency as if your future depends on it, because it does. I recharge through peace. I protect my vibration from negativity. I choose environments that nourish my energy. Energy obeys attention. Whatever you dwell on grows stronger. If you focus on lack, you drain your power. If you focus on abundance, you amplify it. Energy expands where gratitude lives and shrinks where fear hides. That's why the most powerful manifestors are not those who hustle, but those who vibrate joyfully at peace. My attention empowers my energy. I vibrate at the frequency of abundance. I energize blessings through my gratitude. You are an energetic being in a divine universe. You are not separate from it. You are a cell in its body, a spark in its current, a note in its eternal song. Every heartbeat is a rhythm in the cosmic orchestra of creation. When you move in harmony with divine energy, you become unstoppable, not because of force, but because of flow. I am part of divine circulation. I give freely and receive easily. My energy moves in perfect balance. When you wake in the morning, declare your energy first, before the world declares it for you. Say, I am alive, I am powerful, I am radiant. And watch how life mirrors that vibration back. Your outer world always follows your inner frequency. Be the energy you wish to meet, and it will meet you faster than words can say. I begin each day charged with divine power. My positive energy blesses everything I touch. I radiate light and attract light in return. Take a deep breath now. Feel the energy of life rushing through you from head to toe, from thought to heart. That is divine current flowing freely, blessing every cell, restoring every dream. You are not weak. You are not waiting. You are wired for miracles. Whisper this truth. I am energy in motion. I am the pulse of divine creation. I am alive with purpose and power. And so, your vibration becomes your prayer, your enthusiasm becomes your offering, your energy becomes your magnet. I no longer work for manifestation. I vibrate with it. My energy calls forth abundance, love, and peace. Everything I desire flows easily through the current of my joy. And so it is. It is done. It is manifest under grace, in divine energy, in perfect flow. Positivity is divine power spoken through thought. It is not blind optimism, it is spiritual alignment. To be positive does not mean to deny what is happening, but to affirm that divine order is working even in what you cannot yet understand. A positive mind is not naive, it is disciplined. It is trained to look past illusion and into truth. It sees what is wrong, but speaks what is right. It notices the storm, but declares the calm. For every word of faith you speak is a command to the universe. I think divine thoughts only. My mind is aligned with peace. What I speak in faith manifests in grace. Negativity is not power, it is misdirected energy. It drains your vibration, blinds your vision and delays your manifestation. But positivity builds the bridge from the unseen to the seen. Every positive word you repeat is an act of creation. Every positive emotion you choose is a seed of manifestation. Each one says to the universe, I am ready for my good. I speak light over my life. I choose peace over panic. My words are spells of creation, not destruction. Positivity is not about ignoring pain. It is about transforming it. It's saying, this too will bless me. It's choosing to see lessons where others see loss. It's keeping your eyes on the promise even when the path feels dark. You are not pretending everything is perfect. You are proclaiming that divine perfection is always present. Even this is working for me. Nothing can go wrong in divine order. Every challenge hides a miracle in disguise. Your thoughts create ripples in the field of energy that surrounds you. When you think fear, the field tightens. When you think faith, the field expands. The universe hears the frequency, not the phrase. It answers not the noise of doubt, but the clarity of truth. So fill your mind with light, again and again, until it becomes your default language. My thoughts radiate love and peace. Every thought I think sends out blessings. Positivity flows through me naturally. The positive soul is not one who never feels pain, but one who knows that pain cannot last in divine light. You can acknowledge your emotion without worshiping it. You can feel what you feel and still speak faith. Because every time you say, I am still blessed, you break the spell of darkness that tries to hold you. My words carry light. I speak calm into chaos. I am the vibration of faith in action. When you wake each morning, you have two choices: to echo the noise of the world or to repeat the song of the Spirit. The world says, it's hard. The Spirit says, it's possible. The world says, there's not enough. The Spirit says, I live in abundance. Every positive statement is a declaration of your divine identity. I choose faith over fear. I choose hope over doubt. I choose to see life through divine eyes. Positivity is magnetic. It changes the energy of any space you enter. You may not realize it, but every smile, every kind word, every gentle thought is a vibration that travels beyond sight, touching lives you'll never meet. Your positivity heals in silence. Your faith uplifts without preaching. Your peace teaches without words. My positivity uplifts the collective. My peace blesses everyone around me. I am a transmitter of divine joy. When negativity arises, bless it and release it. Do not fight it, transform it. You do not heal darkness by hating it. You heal it by shining upon it. Let love be your response to fear. Let gratitude be your reply to worry. And let light be your answer to anything that tries to lower your vibration. I release all negativity with ease. I respond to life with love. I transform all energy into light. Remember the words, I am, are the most powerful words you will ever speak. Whatever follows them becomes the law of your life. Say not, I am tired. Say, I am restored. Say not, I am unlucky. Say, I am blessed. Say not, I am afraid. Say, I am protected. For the universe does not judge, it simply mirrors your command. I am blessed beyond measure. I am calm, confident, and radiant. I am surrounded by divine love and infinite good. Take a moment now, breathe deeply. Place your hand on your heart. Let your energy soften. This is not just breathing, it is alignment. Say softly to yourself, I choose to think divine thoughts. I see life through the eyes of peace. I expect good and receive good. Feel the warmth of truth moving through your body. That is divine positivity, the vibration that heals, attracts, and multiplies. You are now tuned to heaven's frequency. And from this frequency, miracles cannot help but find you. My mind is a temple of light. My words are vessels of power. I think love, speak love, and attract love. And so it is. It is done. It is manifest under grace, in perfect timing, in divine peace. To be true is to live in harmony with your soul. It is to remember who you are before the world told you who to be. It is to peel away the layers of fear, guilt, and pretending, until all that remains is the radiant essence of your divine self. Manifestation does not happen through imitation. It happens through authenticity. You cannot attract your blessings while pretending to be someone else. I am true to my divine nature. I release every mask that hides my light. My authenticity aligns me with my destiny. Truth is magnetic. The moment you live honestly, everything false begins to fall away. People shift, circumstances change, but it is never loss, it is liberation. The universe cannot bless the version of you that you perform. It can only bless the version of you that is real. I no longer perform for acceptance. I am loved for who I truly am. My truth is my strength and my safety. You were not sent to this world to be a copy of anyone. Comparison kills your energy because it disconnects you from your purpose. You are a divine design, one of a kind, irreplaceable, infinite. When you try to live another's path, you step out of divine flow and into confusion. But when you honor your truth, the universe moves mountains to support it. I am incomparable. I walk confidently in my divine path. My uniqueness is my superpower. To be true does not mean to be perfect. It means to be whole. It means to accept your humanity and your divinity at once. To love the parts of you that are still growing and honor the parts that have already bloomed. Perfection exhausts the soul, but truth frees it. I embrace all that I am. I am not broken, I am becoming. I honor my growth with compassion and grace. Your truth will sometimes be misunderstood, and that's all right. You are not here to convince, you are here to be. The tree does not apologize for standing tall. The ocean does not shrink to make the shore comfortable. And you must not dim to fit a space that cannot contain your light. Be fully you, radiant, bold, peaceful, powerful. I no longer shrink to be accepted. I am light in human form. My truth blesses everyone it touches. Authenticity aligns your vibration with abundance. When you live truthfully, you vibrate in integrity, and integrity is the frequency of divine supply. Nothing fake can flourish for long, but everything real multiplies with ease. The more you live as your true self, the easier it becomes for your manifestations to find you. I live in truth, therefore I attract truth. My honesty creates prosperity. Abundance flows to me because I am real. Being true also means listening to your intuition, the still, small voice that speaks divine guidance within you. Your intuition is God whispering through your own consciousness, showing you the next step, the next idea, the next miracle. When you follow it, you walk in peace. When you ignore it, you walk in confusion. Be true to the voice within, even when it leads you differently than others. I trust my inner wisdom. I follow the quiet guidance of my soul. Every decision I make is guided by divine truth. To be true is to speak life over yourself even when the world doubts you. It's to know that your worth is not measured by numbers, approval, or applause. It's knowing that your value comes from divine origin. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not what others think of you. You are the expression of divine intelligence made visible. The truth of God walking in human form. I am divine intelligence in expression. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I walk in truth, and truth walks with me. When you live in truth, fear dissolves, because fear only survives in illusion. And truth has no illusion left to hide behind. The moment you say, "This is who I am," the universe echoes, "And this is who I will bless." Your honesty opens channels that deception could never reach. My truth opens doors no lie could unlock. I am safe in my authenticity. My truth is the key to my freedom. Now, take a breath and let your shoulders drop. Let your body rest in the comfort of truth. There is nothing to prove. There is nothing to hide. You are enough as you are. You have always been enough. Say softly, "I am true to myself. I am aligned with divine truth. I live from the core of my authentic soul." As you speak these words, you become lighter, clearer, freer. For truth does not bind, it breaks every chain. It releases you from the need to impress, to conform, to fear. And when you live truthfully, you become a match to miracles. My truth attracts what belongs to me. The more authentic I become, the more abundant I become. I am living proof that divine truth sets you free. And so it is. It is done. It is manifest under grace, in perfect truth, in perfect peace. Gratitude is the crown of manifestation. It is the sacred seal that completes every prayer. When you are grateful, you declare that you already have all you need. And in that declaration, the universe says, "Give them more." For gratitude is not just a feeling, it is the vibration of abundance made visible. I live in constant gratitude. Every breath I take is a thank you to the divine. Gratitude multiplies every blessing in my life. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into miracles. It opens the gates of divine supply. When you give thanks, you align with heaven's rhythm, because heaven is always in the vibration of appreciation. Even before you see the answer, say thank you. Even before the door opens, bless it. For gratitude in advance is the highest form of faith. I am grateful before I receive. My gratitude activates divine timing. I thank life for what is and what is becoming. There is always something to be grateful for, always. The breath in your lungs, the lessons that shaped you, the strength that carried you through what could have broken you. Gratitude turns memory into wisdom and hardship into strength. It redefines every experience as divine preparation. Nothing is wasted when you are grateful. I bless the past, for it brought me here. I thank my challenges for my growth. I am grateful for the unseen good unfolding now. When you complain, you close the gate of flow. When you give thanks, you open it wide. Gratitude is the language of increase. Whatever you thank grows stronger in your life. Thank love, and it expands. Thank money, and it multiplies. Thank peace, and it fills the air around you. What you appreciate, appreciates. I am thankful for love in all its forms. I am thankful for prosperity in every expression. I am thankful for the divine order guiding my steps. Gratitude heals. It soothes the heart and resets the mind. You cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. The moment you say, "Thank you," your nervous system relaxes, your energy shifts, and your vibration rises to meet the divine. Gratitude is the fastest prayer because it speaks directly to the heart of God. I breathe gratitude in and peace flows out. My thankfulness heals my mind and body. Gratitude restores me to divine balance. To be grateful is to acknowledge divine partnership. It is saying, "I see what you've done, and I trust what you're doing." It is surrender and celebration in one breath. Gratitude does not wait for circumstances to change. It changes them. Because when you give thanks in the middle of uncertainty, you align with the power that turns chaos into creation. I thank the divine for guiding me always. I trust that every season carries blessing. I am grateful for divine protection and perfect timing. When you wake in the morning, begin with thankfulness. Before you reach for your phone, reach for your peace. Whisper, "Thank you for another chance to live, to love, to grow." And when you lie down at night, end with gratitude. Review your day not by what went wrong, but by what went right, even in small ways. Gratitude is the beginning and the ending of miracles. I start my day with gratitude. I end my day in peace. I live each moment as a sacred gift. Gratitude is also generosity. It is not just saying thank you, it is living as thank you. It is giving from a full heart, not an empty hand. It is sharing your light, your love, your resources, knowing that what you give freely returns multiplied. You are never depleted by giving, you are expanded. Because gratitude keeps you in the flow of divine circulation. I give joyfully and receive abundantly. My giving keeps blessings in motion. Gratitude turns me into a channel of grace. When you are grateful, you attract grace. Grace opens doors you didn't know existed. Grace places you in the right place at the right time. Grace fills the gaps effort could never fill. Gratitude summons that grace faster than any striving could. It is your constant reminder that you are already favored, already chosen, already loved beyond measure. I am favored, I am blessed, I am grateful. Grace surrounds me in all directions. My gratitude magnetizes divine opportunities. Now, take one deep, holy breath. Feel your chest rise with light, your heart expand with warmth. This is divine connection, you and the infinite in one rhythm. You are breathing the same breath as creation itself, and in this moment, you are complete. There is nothing missing, nothing broken, only gratitude, only grace, only love. Say softly, "I am grateful now. I am grateful always." Gratitude is my way of life. And as you do, every cell in your body hums with divine harmony. Every prayer you've ever spoken begins to move toward manifestation. Because the grateful heart is the receiving heart. The grateful soul is the abundant soul. I thank life for loving me. I thank the universe for providing for me. I thank God for making me whole. And so, in gratitude, everything comes full circle. You are clear, you are open, you are willing, you are happy, you are focused, you are expectant, you are energetic, you are positive, you are true. And now, you are grateful. Gratitude is the final key that unlocks it all. the vibration that completes creation and multiplies manifestation. And so it is. It is done. It is manifest under grace, in divine perfection, and infinite gratitude. Take a deep breath, beloved soul. You have remembered who you are. You are not lost. You are not waiting. You are awakening. The divine within you is rising, and every word you have spoken tonight has shaped your new reality. You are clear. You are open. You are willing. You are happy. You are focused. You are expectant. You are energetic. You are positive. You are true. You are grateful. You are the living vibration of divine manifestation. I am clear about what I desire. I am open to receive all good things. I am willing to be guided by divine wisdom. I am happy now, for joy is my natural state. I am focused on the vision that belongs to me. I expect only good, for divine order governs my life. I am alive with sacred energy. I am positive, peaceful, and radiant. I am true to my divine self. I am grateful now and always. Let these words fall into your spirit like light. Feel them as truth, not wish. Feel them as presence, not promise. Because the divine law has already heard you, and what is decreed in truth is already done in form. You are not asking anymore. You are allowing. You are not searching anymore. You are remembering. Everything you have desired already exists. It has simply been waiting for your vibration to match it. And now, it does. I am aligned with divine order. Everything I desire is already on its way. My manifestation is unfolding perfectly. All things work together for my highest good. You are the seed and the sun. You are the prayer and the answer. You are the word and the manifestation of the word. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer strive, you receive. You no longer fear, you trust. Say softly, I am one with divine mind. I am one with divine timing. I am one with divine supply. And the universe echoes back, yes, you are. Now imagine light surrounding you. A golden aura, pulsing gently with peace. This is divine energy, infinite and intelligent, circulating blessings through your field. Every word of faith you've spoken is now light in motion. It is gathering, forming, aligning, and soon it will appear in the seen world with ease. I am surrounded by divine light. I am safe, I am guided, I am prosperous. Everything unfolds in my favor. Gratitude fills your breath. Love fills your heart. Peace fills your being. You are no longer waiting for miracles. You are living in them. The divine has heard you, and the divine always responds in kind. What I bless, blesses me. What I give thanks for, grows. My life overflows with grace. Now listen deeply to the still, silent voice within. It is whispering, you are loved. You are chosen. You are infinite. This is not imagination, this is recognition. You are remembering your divine inheritance. You were never separate from abundance. You were never distant from love. You have always been part of the divine whole. I am divine expression made visible. I am heaven unfolding on earth. I am peace in human form. Repeat now, gently, like a rhythm of breath. I am clear. I am open. I am willing. I am happy. I am focused. I am expectant. I am energetic. I am positive. I am true. I am grateful. Each phrase anchors deeper into your energy field. Each repetition builds the structure of your new life. Each breath you take now is creation itself. I am aligned with the rhythm of miracles. I am the vibration of all that I desire. I live, move, and have my being in divine abundance. As this meditation flows into silence, remember, silence is not emptiness. It is the space where divine law moves without resistance. The law has heard your words, and the universe has already begun its rearranging. You do not have to know how, you only have to know it is done. I rest in divine assurance. I live in perfect peace. My good rushes to meet me now. Now close your eyes and let these words echo in your heart until they become your heartbeat. I am one with divine intelligence. Everything I desire desires me. I am blessed beyond measure. I am the manifestation of love, wealth, peace, and joy. I am the evidence that divine law works. And as you breathe, feel yourself glowing brighter, lighter, freer. You are not praying anymore. You are becoming the answer. The light of creation is moving through you, and your life will never be the same again. I am manifesting in perfect timing. I am surrounded by divine prosperity. I am grateful. I am ready. I am whole. So now, with your heart still and your soul calm, say these final words of power. It is done. It is finished. It is manifest under grace, in perfect ways. Let those words vibrate into the atmosphere. They carry weight. They carry divine truth. They carry the energy of every prayer you've spoken tonight. You are aligned. You are in tune. You are divine. And all that you have called forth is already on its way to you. Swiftly, silently, and perfectly. I am thankful. I am ready. I am receiving now. The universe has answered, and I say yes. My entire life is now a testimony of divine law fulfilled. And so it is. It is done. It is complete. In infinite gratitude, in perfect peace, in everlasting light.
Picture a garden after a long drought, soil hardened, roots waiting, air filled with thirst. Then without struggle, rain begins. The ground does not chase the water, it simply opens and receives. We continue our reading of The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn with the second chapter, The Law of Prosperity. We'll keep it simple, each chapter, heard in full. And if at any point you want a gentle step, a free, optional one-page companion sheet waits in the description. There when you're ready. Now the central principle of this chapter comes into view. The heart of this chapter is simple. Prosperity is circulation, not clutching. Give in faith, receive in peace. Every thought of fear tightens the hand, but trust loosens the grip. Every act of faith sets the current moving, and what flows out finds its way home. So let the reading begin. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. One of the greatest messages given to the race through the scriptures is that God is man's supply, and that man can release, through his spoken word, all that belongs to him by divine right. He must, however, have perfect faith in his spoken word. Isaiah said, "My word shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that whereunto it is sent." We know now that words and thoughts are a tremendous vibratory force, ever molding man's body and affairs. A woman came to me in great distress and said she was to be sued on the 15th of the month for $3,000. She knew no way of getting the money and was in despair. I told her God was her supply, and that there is a supply for every demand. So I spoke the word. I gave thanks that the woman would receive $3,000 at the right time in the right way. I told her she must have perfect faith and act her perfect faith. The 15th came, but no money had materialized. She called me on the phone and asked what she was to do. I replied, "It is Saturday, so they won't sue you today. Your part is to act rich, thereby showing perfect faith that you will receive it by Monday." She asked me to lunch with her to keep up her courage. When I joined her at a restaurant, I said, "This is no time to economize. Order an expensive luncheon. Act as if you had already received the $3,000. All things whatsoever ye ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive." You must act as if you had already received. The next morning she called me on the phone and asked me to stay with her during the day. I said no. You are divinely protected, and God is never too late. In the evening, she phoned again, greatly excited, and said, "My dear, a miracle has happened. I was sitting in my room this morning when the doorbell rang. I said to the maid, 'Don't let anyone in.' The maid, however, looked out the window and said, 'It's your cousin with the long white beard.' So I said, 'Call him back. I would like to see him.' He was just turning the corner when he heard the maid's voice, and he came back. He talked for about an hour, and just as he was leaving, he said, 'Oh, by the way, how are finances?' I told him I needed the money, and he said, 'Why, my dear, I will give you $3,000 the first of the month.' I didn't like to tell him I was going to be sued. What shall I do? I won't receive it till the first of the month, and I must have it tomorrow. I said, 'I'll keep on treating.' I said, 'Spirit is never too late. I give thanks she has received the money on the invisible plane, and that it manifests on time.' The next morning, her cousin called her up and said, 'Come to my office this morning and I will give you the money.' That afternoon, she had $3,000 to her credit in the bank and wrote checks as rapidly as her excitement would permit. If one asks for success and prepares for failure, he will get the situation he has prepared for. For example, a man came to me asking me to speak the word that a certain debt would be wiped out. I found he spent his time planning what he would say to the man when he did not pay his bill, thereby neutralizing my words. He should have seen himself paying the debt. We have a wonderful illustration of this in the Bible, relating to the 3 kings who were in the desert, without water for their men and horses. They consulted the prophet Elisha, who gave them this astonishing message: "Thus saith the Lord, ye shall not see wind, neither shall ye see rain. Yet make this valley full of ditches." Man must prepare for the thing he has asked for, when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight. For example, a woman found it necessary to look for an apartment during the year when there was a great shortage of apartments in New York. It was considered almost an impossibility, and her friends were sorry for her and said, "Isn't it too bad? You'll have to store your furniture and live in a hotel." She replied, "You needn't feel sorry for me. I'm a Superman, and I'll get an apartment." She spoke the words, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for the right apartment." She knew there was a supply for every demand, and that she was unconditioned, working on the spiritual plane, and that one with God is a majority. She had contemplated buying new blankets when the tempter, the adverse thought or reasoning mind, suggested, "Don't buy the blankets. Perhaps after all you won't get an apartment and you will have no use for them." She promptly replied to herself, "I'll dig my ditches by buying the blankets." So she prepared for the apartment, acted as though she already had it. She found one in a miraculous way, and it was given to her although there were over 200 other applicants. The blankets showed active faith. It is needless to say that the ditches dug by the 3 kings in the desert were filled to overflowing. Getting into the spiritual swing of things is no easy matter for the average person. The adverse thoughts of doubt and fear surge from the subconscious. They are the army of the aliens, which must be put to flight. This explains why it is so often darkest before the dawn. A big demonstration is usually preceded by tormenting thoughts. Having made a statement of high spiritual truth, One challenges the old beliefs in the subconscious, and error is exposed to be put out. This is the time when one must make his affirmations of truth repeatedly, and rejoice and give thanks that he has already received. Before ye call, I shall answer. This means that every good and perfect gift is already man's, awaiting his recognition. Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. The children of Israel were told that they could have all the land they could see. This is true of every man. He has only the land within his own mental vision. Every great work, every big accomplishment has been brought into manifestation through holding to the vision, and often just before the big achievement comes apparent failure and discouragement. The children of Israel, when they reached the promised land, were afraid to go in, for they said it was filled with giants, who made them feel like grasshoppers. And there we saw the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. This is almost every man's experience. However, the one who knows spiritual law is undisturbed by appearance, and rejoices while he is yet in captivity. That is, he holds to his vision and gives thanks that the end is accomplished. He has received. Jesus Christ gave a wonderful example of this. He said to his disciples, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh the harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are ripe already to harvest." His clear vision pierced the world of matter, and he saw clearly the fourth-dimensional world, things as they really are, perfect and complete in divine mind. So man must ever hold the vision of his journey's end and demand the manifestation of that which he has already received. It may be his perfect health, love, supply, self-expression, home, or friends. They are all finished and perfect ideas registered in divine mind, man's own superconscious mind, and must come through him, not to him. For example, a man came to me asking for treatments for success. It was imperative that he raise within a certain time $50,000 for his business. The time limit was almost up when he came to me in despair. No one wanted to invest in his enterprise, and the bank had flatly refused a loan. I replied, "I suppose you lost your temper while at the bank, therefore your power. You can control any situation if you first control yourself." "Go back to the bank," I added, "and I will treat." My treatment was, "You are identified in love with the spirit of everyone connected with the bank. Let the divine idea come out of this situation." He replied, "Woman, you are talking about an impossibility. Tomorrow is Saturday, the bank closes at 12, and my train won't get me there until 10, and the time limit is up tomorrow, and anyway they won't do it. It's too late." I replied, "God doesn't need any time and is never too late. With him all things are possible." I added, "I don't know anything about business, but I know all about God." He replied, "It all sounds fine when I sit here listening to you, but when I go out it's terrible." He lived in a distant city, and I did not hear from him for a week. Then came a letter. It read, "You were right. I raised the money and will never again doubt the truth of all that you told me." I saw him a few weeks later and I said, "What happened? You evidently had plenty of time after all." He replied, "My train was late, and I got there just 15 minutes to 12. I walked into the bank quietly and said, 'I have come for the loan,' and they gave it to me without a question." It was the last 15 minutes of the time allotted to him. An infinite spirit was not too late. In this instance, the man could never have demonstrated alone. He needed someone to help him hold to the vision. This is what one man can do for another. Jesus Christ knew the truth of this when he said, "If 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven." One gets too close to his own affairs and becomes doubtful and fearful. The friend or healer sees clearly the success, health, or prosperity, and never wavers, because he is not close to the situation. It is much easier to demonstrate for someone else than for oneself, so a person should not hesitate to ask for help if he feels himself wavering. A keen observer of life once said, No man can fail if some one person sees him successful. Such is the power of the vision, and many a great man has owed his success to a wife, or sister, or a friend who believed in him and held without wavering to the perfect pattern. That is Chapter 2. The second great principle of the manual has now been revealed. Prosperity is circulation, not clutching. Give in faith, receive in peace. Simply allowing this rhythm to echo within you is an act of abundance. The seed of this truth has been planted in your soul. Let the words rest. When you want to embody them, one simple practice awaits below. Whether you simply listen or actively practice, remember the truth you received today. May you walk with open hands and watch the river answer in perfect time.
Every word, every thought, every emotion, and every dollar carries a vibration. These are not separate forces, but interconnected streams of energy shaping the life you experience. To control one is to influence the others. For the mouth speaks what the mind believes. The mood reflects the unseen thoughts, and money flows where harmony resides. Life responds to the inner blueprint, what you say, think, feel, and allow. The mouth is a powerful tool of creation. Words are not idle, they are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. To speak carelessly is to sow weeds that choke your destiny. Declare health, and you welcome it. Speak lack, and lack becomes your companion. When you understand that your tongue is a wand, you become selective with your spells. You speak beauty into life, peace into chaos, and abundance into what once seemed barren. You train your mouth to follow faith instead of fear. The mind is your workshop, the architect behind all manifestation. What you hold in thought, you hold in hand. The mind can be a loyal servant or a ruthless master. If left unchecked, it wanders into doubt, criticism, and limitation, building walls instead of bridges. Yet, when disciplined, it becomes a sacred channel through which divine ideas flow. Train your mind to focus on what is wanted, not what is dreaded. Replace impossible with all things are possible. Guard your thoughts as you would a priceless treasure, for indeed they are. The mood is the magnet of your experience. Emotion is energy in motion, calling to itself what matches its frequency. When you dwell in irritation, worry, or despair, you align with more situations that evoke the same feeling. But when you choose joy, yes, choose joy, you open the floodgates of blessing. Even in challenge, you can hold a mood of expectancy, knowing that every seeming setback is a hidden advance. Your mood is your atmosphere, and what grows in your atmosphere depends on the climate you create within. Money is the symbol of circulation, a reflection of your inner state. It is neither good nor evil, it simply obeys the law of supply and demand of spirit. If you believe in prosperity, you attract it. If you fear poverty, you make room for its arrival. Money comes where it is welcomed, with wisdom, gratitude, and confidence. It flows away from resentment, worry, and unworthiness. Master your money by mastering the beliefs behind it. Know that you are not chasing wealth. Wealth is drawn to your certainty. To control your mouth, mind, mood, and money is to step into spiritual dominion. Life is not happening to you, it is answering you. Align your speech with truth, your thoughts with possibility, your mood with joy, and your finances with purpose. As you do, the invisible will shape the visible, and your world will reflect the divine order you have allowed. To speak only words that align with what you desire is to claim your power as a creator. Words are your declarations to the universe, and they are never empty. Every statement you make is a command, a decree calling forth experiences that match its vibration. When you speak of success, doors begin to open. When you speak of joy, joy has permission to enter. But when you speak of defeat, frustration, or fear, those too become companions you have unknowingly welcomed. The tongue is a small instrument, yet it shapes the course of life through the energy it releases. Many speak without awareness, repeating phrases of lack or limitation because they have heard them spoken by others. They absorb the world's negative chatter and wonder why their own lives reflect struggle. To shift the outer world, one must first shift the language pouring from within. Your words are seeds planted into the soil of the unseen. Some seeds flourish instantly, others grow quietly beneath the surface before rising into form. Yet every word takes root. A careless expression, spoken in haste or irritation, may bring forth weeds that choke the growth of your blessings. This is why the wise speak with intention. They understand the law behind speech. What you affirm, you allow. To say "I can't" is to place a locked gate before possibility. To say "I always struggle" is to strengthen the chains that bind opportunity. To declare "nothing works out for me" is to push success farther away. The universe listens attentively to the language of the soul. It does not interpret sarcasm or jest. It simply responds to vibration. Therefore, to speak as though what you desire is already yours creates the pathway by which it appears. There is a spiritual authority in your voice. When your speech aligns with faith, you activate higher forces that move on your behalf. A spoken affirmation, repeated with conviction, becomes a blueprint that divine order rushes to fulfill. Saying, "Everything is working out for my good," summons events that support your progress. Saying, "I am provided for in every way," clears the channels through which provision flows. Your speech is a proclamation of identity. You speak either as a victorious being or a defeated one. You choose whether to echo divine truth or fear's illusion. Some speak blessings over others, but curses over themselves, failing to realize their own life is the first field where their words will harvest. When you control the tongue, you choose creation instead of reaction. Many speak what they see, rather than what they wish to see. They allow circumstances to dictate their words, not recognizing that words are the very tool meant to transform circumstances. If lack is visible, they describe it endlessly, reinforcing its presence. If illness arises, they speak of it with dread, granting it more power. Yet one can witness a condition without granting it authority in speech. One can acknowledge a challenge while still speaking the desired outcome. To say, "I am healing," even when the body shows otherwise, is to align with the inevitable restoration. To say, "Abundance is coming to me now," even when the bank account appears empty, is to invite prosperity to rush in. Your mouth should become a gateway through which only truth, faith, and high expectation may pass. Complaints weaken your energy, gratitude strengthens it. Gossip lowers your vibration, praise elevates it. Criticism blocks blessings. Declarations of good unlock them. Every time you speak of others with kindness, you attract kindness in return. Every time you express gratitude for what is coming, you increase its speed of arrival. When you speak well of yourself, you honor the divine presence within. Many yearn for miracles while speaking as though miracles are impossible. They hope for joy while declaring stress and worry. They desire success while reciting stories of failure. The mouth must be trained to serve your highest intention, not your temporary feelings. To master your speech requires awareness. Listen to the words you utter each day. Notice the automatic phrases, the subtle complaints, the casual self-diminishment, the habitual worry spoken aloud like a ritual. Replace each with declarations of strength and fulfillment. Instead of, "I'm so unlucky," speak, "Everything aligns perfectly for me." Instead of, "I'm always tired," say, "My body is refreshed and energized." Instead of, "I can't afford that," shift to, "Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways." The mind may resist at first, for it has been conditioned to speak from past experience, but with persistence, a new language of faith will emerge. There is power in silence as well. When the only available words are negative ones, silence becomes a shield. Many victories are protected by saying nothing until speech can align with certainty. To refrain from speaking doubt is to refuse to give it form. You owe no explanation to fear. Words should be chosen with love, but silence too can be a tool of creation. In the quiet, belief gathers strength. In the stillness, desire becomes clearer, and when the moment comes to speak, every syllable is infused with purpose. The tongue can heal or harm, uplift or destroy. Before speaking, ask, does this word create life or diminish it? Does it elevate possibility or empower limitation? Every affirmation of good is a brick placed upon the foundation of success. Every complaint is a crack weakening the structure. You are not required to narrate every observed difficulty. You are not here to confirm the existence of obstacles. You are here to declare your dominion over them. Speak as though the path is clear, even when the fog has not yet lifted. Speak as though joy surrounds you, even when sorrow tries to linger. Speech aligned with faith pierces through the unseen and brings light where shadows once ruled. As you direct your words toward what you desire, you refine your awareness of the divine partnership guiding your life. You trust that the universe hears, responds, and acts. You understand that speech is not merely communication but creation. Speak health and the cells of the body hear you. Speak love and relationships transform. Speak prosperity and new avenues of supply reveal themselves. Speak peace and your atmosphere softens into calm. The outer world shifts in response to the inner decree. For words are instruments shaping the invisible substance from which all things are made. To speak only what aligns with desire is a spiritual discipline. It requires courage to claim abundance when others speak of recession. It requires strength to affirm healing when symptoms suggest otherwise. It requires conviction to declare victory while still walking through challenges. Yet this is the path of the empowered soul, the one who knows that words are the first manifestation of any dream. What you dare to speak, you dare to become. To discipline the mind to focus on possibility is to step into the highest realm of spiritual mastery, for the mind is the silent force behind every manifestation. It is the inner sculptor shaping the form of your experience. What you allow to dwell in the mind becomes the blueprint that life follows faithfully. Thoughts are not idle guests passing through awareness. They are builders constructing the invisible architecture of destiny. When the mind wanders toward fear, doubt, or limitation, it creates walls that block the blessings already on their way. But when the mind is trained to consider only what is good, expansive, and possible, those walls fall away and the path to fulfillment becomes clear. Most people allow their thought life to behave like an untamed horse, running wild, reacting to every outer condition, and leading them into confusion. They think thoughts simply happen to them, without recognizing that they hold dominion over the mental realm. The mind can be commanded, it can be guided toward truth and held in alignment with desire. To discipline the mind is not to force or suppress, but to redirect, again and again with gentle persistence. Just as a gardener uproots weeds before they choke the flowers, the disciplined thinker removes doubt before it takes root. If you permit negative thoughts to linger, they become beliefs, and beliefs become your reality. Possibility thinking requires a refusal to entertain impossibility. When a challenge arises, the undisciplined mind asks, "What if this goes wrong?" The disciplined mind asks, "What new good is unfolding from this?" One thought tightens the door, the other opens it wide. The mind must be shown where to rest its attention. Every moment you have the choice to dwell on what you fear or what you desire. Focus is the steering wheel of consciousness. You travel in the direction of whatever thought you revisit the most. If you repeatedly imagine defeat, life will gather evidence to support the belief. But if you consistently imagine success, seeing it as though it is already done, the universe rushes to deliver it into form. The imagination is the sacred workshop where possibility becomes inevitable. All creation begins with a mental picture. The images you hold are spiritual embryos awaiting birth into the physical world. When you envision abundance with certainty, you energize the very channels through which abundance flows. When you imagine relationships infused with harmony, you shift the vibration that attracts loving interactions. If your mind pictures struggle in vivid detail, that becomes your script. But if you dare to hold a vision of triumph, despite current appearances, you activate the laws of manifestation that reshape circumstances to match the vision. Disciplining the mind means deliberately choosing the thoughts you feed. Some thoughts nourish the soul, others drain it. You must become the gatekeeper of your mental kingdom. Let no idea enter that does not support your highest intention. When a worrisome thought arises, replace it with a declaration of faith. When self-doubt whispers that you are not enough, respond with an affirmation of your divine worth. This is not denial. It is alignment with the truth that lies beneath temporary appearances. Fear may knock at the door of the mind, but faith decides whether that door opens. To focus on possibility is to see beyond the limitations that the senses present. The physical world reflects the past, old beliefs and outdated conditions. If you use only what you see to determine what is possible, you trap yourself in yesterday's story. The disciplined mind looks through the eye of spirit and perceives what is becoming. It understands that the invisible realm is alive with potential, waiting for clear and confident thought to bring it forth. Every great achievement began with a mind that refused to be limited by what currently existed. The pioneers of progress did not ask, "Is it realistic?" They asked, "What if this is the beginning of something greater?" Emotional discipline follows mental discipline, for feelings flow from thoughts. A mind trained to think of possibility experiences peace even when external circumstances try to provoke fear. It feels excitement about what is coming, rather than dread of what might go wrong. This emotional atmosphere becomes a magnet for matching outcomes. When you feel expectant joy, life delivers joyful experiences. When you maintain a mood of optimism, you attract opportunities aligned with that inner frequency. The disciplined mind creates an environment where miracles feel natural. There will be times when the mind tries to drift back into old patterns. Years of conditioning cannot always be undone in a moment. Yet each redirection strengthens mental authority. When a negative thought appears, do not fear it, fight it, or resent it. Release it. Replace it. Offer the mind a better thought, one that reflects the truth of your spiritual power. Say to yourself, "There is always a way. Good is unfolding here. I trust the divine plan at work." These simple reminders shift the internal dialogue from panic to possibility. To focus on possibility is also to embrace curiosity. Instead of deciding prematurely that something is a problem, wonder what hidden gift it contains. Instead of assuming that a delay is destructive, consider how it may be protective. A disciplined mind does not jump to the worst conclusion. It pauses, breathes, and chooses a perspective infused with wisdom. It knows that every experience carries meaning, and every situation holds a key to the next step. When you think from possibility, you do not shrink from life's challenges. You rise into them with inner strength. The most powerful minds are those that think independently of circumstances. They do not allow the opinions or fears of others to dictate their own vision. They remain anchored in faith while others waver. Their certainty becomes the force that shapes new realities. To discipline the mind is to assume responsibility for your inner world, knowing that it is the birthplace of everything you will ever call your own. The world may try to pull your attention toward doubt, but you choose to focus on divine assurance. The world may insist that something cannot be done, but you look deeper and see that all things are possible through spiritual law. Every thought you choose with intention becomes a step toward the life you desire. When the mind consistently contemplates higher possibility, it aligns with the universal intelligence that guides creation itself. Inspired ideas begin to flow, solutions, opportunities, and intuitive nudges that lead you forward. You become receptive to abundance because you expect it. You notice openings that others overlook because you believe there is always a path. What once seemed out of reach becomes natural because the mind prepared the way long before the outcome appeared. To discipline the mind is to claim sovereignty over your internal reality. It is the courageous act of refusing to think small, refusing to think fear, refusing to think from the past. It is the daily practice of choosing thoughts that uplift, empower, and expand. It is knowing that every possibility you entertain is already taking shape in the invisible realm, waiting for the perfect moment to appear in your life as a manifestation of your unwavering faith in what can be. To maintain a joyful and expectant mood is to embody the essence of spiritual magnetism, for emotion is the invitation you extend to your future. Your mood is not merely a reaction to circumstance. It is the energy you broadcast into the universe, calling forth experiences that match its frequency. Joy is not something that arrives after conditions improve. It is the force that compels conditions to improve. Expectancy is not a passive hope. It is an active certainty that good is already unfolding on your behalf. When you choose joy deliberately, even without visible reason, you align with the divine current where miracles occur naturally. Many wait for life to give them a reason to feel good, never realizing that feeling good gives life a reason to bring more good. A joyful mood communicates that you believe in abundance, in possibility, in a loving universe responding to your vibrational signature. When the heart lifts, circumstances rise to meet it. When the mood dims into worry or resentment, life reflects that diminished energy. Emotion is a creative force. It shapes outcomes just as surely as thought and speech do. It is the fuel that powers manifestation. The mind may design the blueprint, but emotion builds the structure. A joyful and expectant mood is a declaration of trust. It says, "I know good is coming, even if I cannot see how." It dismisses doubt before doubt gains a foothold. It turns away from fear and invites the invisible support that surrounds you always. When you hold a mood of expectancy, you do not beg life for blessings, you anticipate them as if their arrival is guaranteed. You rise each day with excitement for unseen possibilities. You speak with enthusiasm. You notice every small sign that confirms divine orchestration at work. This attitude draws success closer, as a magnet draws iron. Mood is the atmosphere of the soul. Just as plants grow differently under sunlight than under shadow, so do the seeds of your intentions grow differently under joy than under despair. If you struggle to feel good, start with the smallest shift. A single breath of gratitude, a gentle smile at your own resilience, an appreciation for the blessings already here. Joy is a choice repeated often, not a gift granted rarely. As you strengthen that choice, it becomes easier to sustain. Joy develops momentum. Expectancy builds power. Soon, positivity becomes your default setting, rather than a special occasion. Challenges will always appear in life, but they do not have to dictate your emotion. Mood mastery means lifting your vibration even when the outer world tries to lower it. It is not pretending that hardship doesn't exist. It is acknowledging that hardship is temporary while your spiritual power is permanent. A joyful mood does not depend on circumstances. Rather, circumstances eventually reflect that joyful mood. You can be in the midst of uncertainty and still feel peace. You can face a closed door while expecting a better one to open. Your mood becomes a testimony of faith, a beacon guiding new blessings toward you. When you maintain a mood of joy, your intuition sharpens. You become more aware of guidance, more receptive to ideas that lead you to the right people, opportunities, and solutions. Stress clouds perception, joy clears it, worry blocks creativity, excitement awakens it. A gloomy mood shrinks possibility, an elevated mood expands it. You begin to recognize synchronicities, little hints from the universe that you are on the correct path. Each coincidence becomes a confirmation, each blessing becomes evidence. You feel a sense of partnership with life, rather than opposition. Expectancy is the emotional stance that says everything is working for my highest good. Not just some things, not only easy things, everything. This conviction dissolves emotional turbulence. You no longer fear outcomes because you trust divine intelligence with the details. You no longer cling to rigid plans because you know better ones may form. Expectancy frees the heart to remain light, open, and joyful in all circumstances. It invites miracles in ordinary moments: a phone call, a message, a chance encounter, an idea arriving precisely when needed. What others call coincidence, the joyful soul recognizes as destiny in motion. A joyful and expectant mood also influences the body. Cells respond to vibration. Joy promotes vitality, strengthens immunity, and renews energy. Hopeful expectancy relaxes the nervous system, allowing healing processes to operate freely. Emotional harmony is physical harmony. The mood you hold becomes the health you live. Every thought and every feeling is heard by the body. When you choose joy, the body celebrates. When you expect well-being, the body follows your belief. Some will ask, how can I feel joyful when circumstances are difficult? The answer lies in choosing where to give attention. Every moment contains something to appreciate, even if small. Every challenge contains a lesson, even if hidden. Every detour contains redirection, even if inconvenient. Joy is not naivete, it is spiritual intelligence. It is the awareness that life is always working in your favor, even when the evidence has not yet surfaced. Expectancy is not denial, it is alignment with the unseen truth. To maintain this elevated mood, surround yourself with what nourishes the soul. Engage in thoughts that uplift, speak words that inspire, spend time with people and environments that encourage new possibilities. Protect your emotional state as you would a precious treasure. If negativity attempts to sway you, return to gratitude. Gratitude is the fast track back to joy. A grateful heart cannot dwell in despair, for gratitude reveals the abundance already within reach. Remember that moods are magnetic. If you feel frustrated, you call forth situations that echo frustration. If you feel blessed, you attract more that feels like blessing. The universe listens not only to what you say or think, but to what you consistently feel. Emotion is energy in motion, a signal broadcast outward and answered back with matching experiences. When you maintain joy, you set a frequency that success can easily find. There will be days when joy requires conscious effort, when expectation must be chosen again and again. But every time you return to that elevated mood, you reinforce the spiritual truth. You are creating from the inside out. You are not the victim of circumstance, you are the author of it. A joyful and expectant mood turns life into a dance with the divine, each step guided, each moment filled with potential. It is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between hope and realization, between the unseen and the seen. To welcome money with wise and confident beliefs is to understand that prosperity is not merely a physical transaction, but a spiritual agreement. Money responds to the energy you hold about it. It flows where it is honored, respected, and expected. When your beliefs are rooted in confidence rather than fear, in abundance rather than scarcity, money becomes a loyal servant rather than a distant dream. Many desire wealth while speaking words or holding thoughts that reject it. They long for more, yet believe there is not enough. They hope for overflow while feeling unworthy of possession. Money cannot stay where it is resented, feared, or misunderstood. It gravitates toward those who treat it as a welcomed ally in the journey of purposeful living. Every belief you hold about money becomes a rule that governs its behavior in your life. If you believe money is hard to earn, it will obey and come only with struggle. If you believe money corrupts, you will subconsciously keep it away to preserve your integrity. If you believe wealth is reserved for others, the universe takes you at your word. Yet if you believe money is a tool for good, it will arrive to help you do good. If you believe abundance is your birthright, prosperity will seek to confirm that truth. Your financial experience is not determined by the economy, your upbringing, or your current job. It is shaped by the inner laws you have written through belief. Confident beliefs about money do not mean arrogance. They mean certainty that the universe supports your well-being. Money is an expression of energy, and energy is abundant. There is no shortage in spirit. Like oxygen, wealth is plentiful and always circulating, waiting for an open and receptive vessel. Scarcity is a perception learned from a world focused on competition. In spiritual truth, supply is infinite. To adopt confident beliefs is to remember the source of your provision is not limited by human systems. Prosperity flows through ideas, opportunities, inspiration, and divine timing. When you understand this, you no longer fear changes in circumstance, because you know that source is changeless. Welcoming money wisely also means managing it with gratitude and clarity. Money thrives in the presence of order. When you treat finances with careless disregard, they scatter. When you approach them with respect, budgeting, tracking, saving, investing, money responds with loyalty. Wisdom and abundance are partners. The spiritually abundant soul does not chase money. They attract it through alignment and then direct it with intelligence. Every dollar becomes a seed that, when planted in fertile soil, grows into greater supply. Waste, worry, and impulsiveness hinder the harvest. Confidence, combined with stewardship, is the formula through which wealth multiplies. Fear is the greatest barrier to financial flow. Fear whispers that there will not be enough, that money will run out, that prosperity is fragile. It convinces you to cling tightly to what you have, creating energetic stagnation. Money, like breath, must circulate. When you give with faith, you create room to receive more. When you spend joyfully on what supports your life, you send a signal of trust to the universe. When you handle money with appreciation rather than anxiety, you elevate its vibration. Gratitude magnetizes wealth. Every time you bless the money in your hand, you increase the money on its way. Wise beliefs acknowledge that money amplifies the soul. In the hands of a generous heart, wealth becomes a blessing to others. In the hands of a fearful heart, wealth becomes a burden. Confident beliefs allow money to express the highest intentions of the spirit. They dissolve guilt and shame surrounding wealth and replace them with purpose. Money does not change who you are, it reveals more of who you already are. If your intentions are noble, abundance will expand your ability to create good in the world. To deny yourself prosperity out of guilt or humility is to deprive the world of what your abundance could accomplish. There are those who speak of money with bitterness, calling it evil or greedy. Their resentment blocks the flow they secretly desire. One cannot call something wicked and expect it to bless them. Spiritual maturity recognizes that money itself carries no moral quality. It is a neutral force shaped by the heart of its holder. When you welcome money with love, clarity, and dignity, you transform it into a channel of spiritual expression. You use it to uplift your life and the lives of others. You allow it to circulate freely, trusting that more will always return. Confidence in financial abundance is not based on the amount you currently possess. It is a mindset present even when the wallet is not full. It is the inner knowing that supply is already on the way. When you believe provision must be visible before you can feel secure, you reverse the creative order. Security comes from knowing the source, not counting the coins. When your belief is strong, money increases to match it. When your belief is weak, money retreats. You lead with faith, and finances follow. To welcome money wisely means valuing your talents, your time, and the gifts you bring to the world. Many underprice their abilities because they underestimate their worth. They give generously but receive sparsely. They allow others to take but hesitate to accept compensation. This imbalance sends a message to the universe that they are unworthy of wealth. Fair exchange honors both giver and receiver. When you recognize your value and allow financial returns to reflect it, you strengthen the flow of abundance. Confidence is not demanding or selfish. It is acknowledging that your contributions deserve recognition. Your financial atmosphere is shaped by the thoughts you repeat most frequently. Do you think of what you lack or of what you are welcoming? Do you speak of rising financial freedom or constant struggle? Do you celebrate others' success or resent it? Jealousy pushes abundance away. Celebration invites it closer. When you see someone prosper and declare, "That is possible for me," you align with similar blessings. Money responds to the emotional environment you create. Prosperity also grows through joyful anticipation. When you expect wealth, you notice opportunities others overlook. You become bold in decision-making, guided by intuition rather than fear. You trust the timing of your life. Financial channels open because you believe they exist. Expectancy is faith in motion. It quickens manifestation, reminding the universe that you are ready to receive. Above all, wise and confident beliefs about money align with purpose. Wealth without purpose becomes empty, but when money supports your highest calling, it flows freely. You are not meant to merely survive, but to thrive and contribute. Prosperity is part of your spiritual expansion, a reflection of the limitless nature of the divine expressing through you. To align inner order to manifest outer abundance is to understand that life is a mirror reflecting what lies at the core of your being. Every experience, every opportunity, every condition in the physical world arises from the spiritual and mental environment you cultivate within. When your inner world is harmonious, clear, and aligned with your highest intention, the outer world responds with equivalent order. But when your inner space is filled with chaos, conflicting beliefs, self-doubt, or unhealed emotion, the external becomes tangled and restrictive. Abundance flows naturally to the soul whose inner life is organized around faith, clarity, and purpose. Inner order begins with awareness of what you allow to reside in the mind and heart. Some carry past disappointments like heavy stones, allowing memories of lack or failure to shape present expectation. These stored fears act as barriers, blocking the free flow of new opportunities. To align inner order is to release the old narratives that contradict the prosperity you desire. It means forgiving situations that felt unfair, letting go of grievances, and dissolving shame associated with past financial or personal mistakes. When you clear inner space, the universe fills it with something greater. Thoughts must support the abundance you seek. If the inner dialogue is filled with confusion, fear, or contradiction, the manifestation process becomes scattered. You cannot affirm prosperity while secretly believing you are destined for struggle. You cannot seek expansion while holding a tight grip on fear of loss. Inner order means consistency between belief and desire. You decide what truth you will stand upon and remove every thought that opposes it. Like a gardener, you prune away the mental weeds that threaten the fruit of your intentions. As the mind becomes disciplined, the energy of creation strengthens. Emotion also plays a powerful role in inner alignment. Abundance is a high vibration. Resentment, doubt, and anxiety exist on lower frequencies. When you dwell emotionally in worry, you signal the universe to deliver more situations that provoke worry. But when you hold peace, gratitude, and expectancy, you become a magnet for support and success. Emotional coherence, the agreement between what you think, feel, and expect, sets the stage for manifestation. When the heart and mind flow together in confidence, abundance responds without resistance. Peace is the foundation on which prosperity builds. Your habits and daily practices reflect the inner state. Disorder in the physical environment often mirrors inner hesitation or uncertainty. When you organize your surroundings, you affirm readiness for greater things. A cluttered space suggests scattered energy. A clean and orderly space opens channels for clarity. When you care for what you already have, you show the universe that you are prepared for more. Abundance avoids places where it will be neglected, mismanaged, or unappreciated. Order invites expansion. Alignment also calls for making decisions that reflect trust rather than fear. Every choice you make is either an act of faith or an act of doubt. When you choose from fear, you shrink your possibility. When you choose from confidence, you expand it. To align inner order, you must become clear about what you want, and then act as though it is already moving toward you. Indecision blocks abundance because it creates confusion in the energetic field. Clarity opens doorways. Declare your intention with certainty. Move in harmony with that vision, and trust that the next step will always reveal itself. Self-worth is essential to inner order. If you believe you are unworthy of abundance, it cannot comfortably reside with you. Prosperity dwells where it is welcomed without apology. Many push abundance away by doubting their value, feeling undeserving of wealth, success, or happiness. Inner alignment means knowing that you are worthy not because of what you have accomplished, but because of what you are, a divine expression of limitless possibility. When you honor yourself, life honors you, with opportunities that reflect that recognition. Worthiness opens the gates that unworthiness keeps locked. Faith is the anchor that keeps inner order steady even in changing circumstances. When challenges arise, the aligned inner life remains unshaken. You do not panic or assume the worst. Instead, you hold steadfast to the truth that good is still unfolding. Outer appearances cannot disrupt the inner knowing that divine timing is perfect. This unwavering faith creates an energetic stability that abundance trusts. Money, success, and opportunities gravitate to those who are grounded in certainty. The universe invests in those who invest in their own belief. Inner order also means setting intentions with purity. Your desire for abundance must be linked to a meaningful purpose. When your intention is aligned with growth, contribution, and fulfillment, manifestation becomes swift. But when intentions stem from fear, competition, or desperation, the flow becomes blocked. True abundance is a spiritual frequency that supports the unfolding of your soul's mission. When you desire wealth to express, create, and uplift, you harmonize with the universal laws of prosperity. Daily rituals help maintain alignment. Meditation stills the noise and reveals intuitive guidance. Affirmations reinforce belief. Gratitude expands awareness of blessings already present. Journaling brings clarity to the direction you are moving. Silence opens the channel for divine inspiration. These practices are not chores, they are spiritual nourishment that keeps inner order strong. The more you nurture your inner world, the more effortlessly the outer world rearranges itself to reflect your expanding good. Relationships also play a role in inner alignment. Surround yourself with those who encourage growth and support your vision. Distance yourself from voices that speak limitation, fear, or cynicism. Energy is contagious. When you connect with those who think abundantly, your belief grows stronger. When you allow negativity to seep into your consciousness, your inner order becomes vulnerable. Protect your frequency as you would a precious treasure. Only align with influences that nourish the version of you that is rising. To align inner order is to trust that your life is guided. You are not alone in your pursuit of abundance. The universe responds to your inner clarity, arranging people, ideas, and circumstances to manifest what you are prepared to receive. When your intention is focused, your emotion is elevated, your belief is unwavering, and your environment reflects readiness, outer abundance flows with grace. Your role is not to force outcomes, but to align with them. When the inner world is organized in truth, the outer world becomes a harmonious reflection of limitless supply.
You have been told to work harder for money, to wake earlier, stay later, and push longer. But the truth, beloved, is that money does not respond to your sweat. It responds to your spirit. It does not bow to hours. It bows to faith. For money is not material first, it is spiritual substance, waiting to take shape through your belief. There are people who work endlessly and still struggle, and there are others who work less but live in overflow. Why? Because one labors in fear, and the other moves in faith. One says, I must make money. The other says, money is already mine by divine right. A money responds to vibration faster than calculation. It listens to your certainty, not your exhaustion. You can chase it all day and it will hide, but speak to it with confidence, bless it with gratitude, and it will obey. Faith is the only language money understands. It is the magnet that calls unseen supply into visible form. It is the spiritual electricity that turns ideas into income, words into wealth, and expectation into experience. You see, the world taught you to trust effort. But heaven whispers, trust energy. Because when you believe, you become magnetic. And when you are magnetic, the very thing you were chasing begins to chase you. So today, we will shift your power. You will no longer work for money. You will work with faith. You will no longer struggle to earn. You will learn to receive. And from this moment forward, you will know that money responds to faith faster than work. Faith is the invisible key that opens visible doors. Everything seen began as something believed. Every fortune began as a thought. Every opportunity, every open door, every stream of income was once an invisible idea that someone dared to believe in before it appeared. That is the law of faith. It commands substance to take form. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly." That means faith does not beg, it does not chase, it does not doubt. Faith declares, expects, and rests. Faith speaks, and the universe rearranges itself to deliver what was spoken. Faith is the true labor that produces harvest without strain. Say this with me: my faith draws money faster than my effort ever could. Say it again. My faith draws money faster than my effort ever could. There is a higher law than physical effort. It is the law of spiritual certainty. When you believe that something belongs to you, it begins to move toward you. When you know that supply is infinite, lack cannot stay. Faith is magnetic, and like attracts like. When your mind is filled with the picture of abundance, your world must mirror it. Think of the seed in the soil. It is not pushing, it is not working, it is not stressing. It simply contains a knowing that it is meant to grow. That knowing is faith. And because of that faith, the seed becomes what it was always designed to be. You are that seed. Inside you is the divine blueprint of wealth. Faith is the sunlight that awakens it. When you act from fear, you work against yourself. But when you act from faith, every word, every move, every step becomes amplified by unseen power. Florence said, "Man's supply is inexhaustible when he trusts in the spirit of abundance." That means your income does not depend on your hours, your salary, or your job title. It depends on your faith in divine supply. Look around you. The air you breathe is infinite. The stars in the sky cannot be counted. The waves of the ocean never stop rolling. That is how money works for the one who believes. It comes in waves effortlessly, without end. The law of faith commands it. Say this now: God is my source, and my supply is unlimited. Again, God is my source, and my supply is unlimited. One more time: God is my source, and my supply is unlimited. A faith does not see what is missing. It sees what is certain. It looks beyond the numbers, beyond the deadlines, beyond the bills, and says, "It is done." And because faith says it, heaven echoes it. The unseen substance begins to form itself into checks, opportunities, business ideas, gifts, and open doors. There was once a woman who came to Florence with no money to pay her rent. Florence told her, "Speak these words: my rent is paid in full, under grace, in perfect ways." The woman said it with trembling lips, but she said it. She said it again and again, until trembling became peace. Within 2 days, her rent was paid in full, not by effort, but by faith, not by force, but by grace. That is the law of faith in action. It does not wait for conditions to look right. It speaks them right. It does not ask how. It declares now. Faith never says, "one day." It says, "today." When you speak in faith, your words carry authority. You stop pleading and you start commanding. You stop saying, "I hope money comes," and start saying, "Money comes to me now, under grace, in perfect ways." You stop saying, "I'm waiting for my blessing," and start saying, "My blessing is waiting for me." A faith is not lazy. It is alive. It is action aligned with belief. It moves when spirit says move. It rests when spirit says rest. It gives when spirit says give. And because it moves in rhythm with the divine, its results are multiplied. You will notice that when you begin to practice this law, the need to control will fade. You will stop forcing outcomes. You will stop worrying about when and how. You will start trusting that what you speak in faith must appear. You will begin to live in a quiet confidence. A peace that whispers, "It's already handled." Say this now: everything I need is already prepared. My faith draws it to me now. Again, everything I need is already prepared. My faith draws it to me now. One more time. Everything I need is already prepared. My faith draws it to me now. That is the essence of this truth. Money does not respond to strain, it responds to certainty. The invisible law of faith is faster, stronger, and more accurate than human effort. It connects you directly to the source of all supply. So from this day forward, you no longer compete. You no longer chase. You no longer panic. You command, you trust, and you receive. Because faith is your new currency, and heaven always pays on time. Say this one final time. My faith draws money faster than my effort ever could. It is done. It is done. It is done. Work without faith is strain. It is movement without direction, effort without flow, and labor without reward. So many souls exhaust themselves in the pursuit of money, believing that sweat is the language of success. But heaven does not speak sweat, it speaks certainty. Effort born from fear becomes friction, but effort born from faith becomes multiplication. Say this now. My actions are guided by faith, not fear. Again, my actions are guided by faith, not fear. One more time. My actions are guided by faith, not fear. You can toil from morning to night and never see increase if your heart is filled with worry. Because fear blocks flow. Fear shuts the door to divine supply. It says, what if there isn't enough? And the universe, obedient to your belief, mirrors that doubt. But faith, even a whisper of it, opens the floodgates of abundance. Faith says, there is always enough, and heaven agrees. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, the invisible forces are ever working for the man who is still. She did not mean idle in laziness. She meant still in spirit, calm in trust. That stillness is spiritual activity. It is the quiet confidence that allows every action to be guided by intuition instead of desperation. There is a kind of work that makes the face tired, the back ache, the spirit dull, and there is a kind of work that feels like joy. The difference is faith. Faith-filled action feels light. It moves with grace. It flows easily. It multiplies quickly. Because faith attracts divine assistance. Heaven sends help to the one who trusts. Think of two farmers. One works in panic. He digs too deeply, waters too often, and worries that nothing will grow. The other plants calmly, waters with care, and sleeps peacefully, knowing that nature is at work even in the dark. The second farmer reaps more, not because he worked more, but because his faith aligned with divine law. So it is with money. Some people hustle in fear, and the more they chase, the more it runs. Others move in peace, guided by inner wisdom, and money flows to them easily. Their work is not heavy because faith carries half the weight. Say this now, my faith multiplies the power of my actions. Again, my faith multiplies the power of my actions. Once more, my faith multiplies the power of my actions. When you act without faith, you rely only on your human strength. You calculate, you force, you control. But when you act with faith, you rely on divine strength. You listen, you flow, you align. Your ideas come with ease. Your timing is perfect. Your opportunities appear right on schedule. Faith turns ordinary work into sacred work. It turns your business into ministry, your job into purpose, your effort into expansion. When you move in faith, everything you do carries a vibration of peace. And peace attracts plenty. Florence used to tell her students, never act when you are discouraged or fearful. Wait until you are calm and full of faith. Then act, and your action will never fail. That is divine wisdom. Fear-driven action is like planting in frozen soil. No matter how hard you work, nothing grows. But faith-driven action is like planting in spring. The ground is ready, the timing is right, and the harvest is sure. Say this now, I wait in faith, and I act in divine timing. Again, I wait in faith and I act in divine timing. One more time, I wait in faith, and I act in divine timing. Do not confuse movement with progress. Not all action leads to prosperity. Only inspired action leads to increase. And inspiration comes from inner stillness, from listening to spirit, not reacting to fear. When you work from alignment, you are not hustling, you are harmonizing. The right people appear. The right doors open. The right opportunities come. What was once hard becomes easy. What was once delayed becomes instant. Because the law of faith has cleared your path. Faith does not mean doing nothing. It means doing the right thing at the right time with the right heart. It means trusting that your part is obedience and God's part is outcome. You plant, He multiplies. You speak, He manifests. You act, He perfects. Say this now, I release struggle and walk in flow. Again, I release struggle and walk in flow. One more time. I release struggle and walk in flow. The world will tell you that money comes only through hard labor. But those who know divine law understand that money comes through alignment. That is why there are people who seem to do less yet receive more. They are not lucky. They are in faith. Their energy is clean. Their words are aligned. Their work is sacred. And when you move like that, money begins to obey you. You speak and it listens. You act and it responds. You rest and it still flows. Beloved, your work is important, but your belief is essential. The hands can build only what the heart believes is possible. When you combine action with faith, you become unstoppable. Heaven partners with you. The universe supports you. Prosperity finds you. Say this one final time. My actions are blessed because they are born of faith. I move in grace, I live in flow, and money responds to my belief. It is done. The world uses coins and paper to trade for things. Heaven uses belief. Belief is the real currency, invisible, yet more valuable than gold. It is the energy that buys opportunities, the vibration that pays for miracles, the faith that unlocks doors no amount of money could open. Say this now, my belief is my greatest wealth. Again, my belief is my greatest wealth. One more time, my belief is my greatest wealth. Every time you choose faith over fear, you make a spiritual deposit. Every time you speak words of certainty instead of doubt, you multiply your balance in the unseen. Every time you thank God before you see the result, you add interest to your spiritual account. Belief is how heaven measures wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." That means belief is your purchase order to the universe. If you can see it, you can have it. If you can believe it, it is already yours. When you believe, you are paying in the only currency that heaven accepts, certainty. The currency of belief never loses value. It does not depend on the stock market or the economy. It is not shaken by world events. It cannot be stolen or lost. It grows with every word of faith you speak. It multiplies when you praise. It compounds when you trust. There are people with little money but great belief, and they always rise. There are people with much money but no belief, and they always fall, because without belief, material wealth becomes unstable. Belief is the foundation that keeps fortune steady. Say this now, I trade in the currency of belief, and my returns are divine. Again, I trade in the currency of belief, and my returns are divine. One more time, I trade in the currency of belief, and my returns are divine. Every time you believe, you are placing an order in spirit. Every time you doubt, you cancel that order. Heaven is precise. It fulfills what you truly expect, not what you merely wish. The universe is not moved by begging, it is moved by belief. Look back on your life. Everything you once truly believed was possible eventually became real. Every breakthrough began as a quiet knowing inside your heart. Every answered prayer started as a single seed of belief. That seed is the currency that moves mountains. Say this now, I believe before I see, and that is why I see. Again, I believe before I see, and that is why I see. The poor in belief say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the rich in spirit say, I'll see it because I believe it. One looks outward for proof, the other looks inward for power. One depends on effort, the other depends on energy. And the energy of belief is magnetic, it draws all things good toward you. Belief transforms thoughts into things, ideas into income, and words into wealth. It is the invisible exchange that creates visible results. When you say, I can afford this, and mean it, you open a door in the unseen. When you say, I am prosperous, and feel it, you start a new current of supply flowing in your direction. Florence once said, man must not think of money as his supply, but of God as his supply. This is the essence of the currency of heaven. God is the source, and belief is the bridge. When you walk across that bridge in faith, provision meets you halfway. You never walk alone, you are always guided by unseen hands arranging all things for your good. Say this now, God is my source, and I am paid in miracles. Again, God is my source, and I am paid in miracles. One more time, God is my source, and I am paid in miracles. Belief does not need evidence, it creates evidence. It speaks to the invisible and commands it to appear. The moment you believe, the supply begins to move. The check is written in heaven long before it clears on earth. The door is opened in spirit before you see it in matter. And this is why belief works faster than work. Because belief speaks to the origin, while work only moves within the outcome. Faith talks to the source. Effort only touches the surface. When you believe, you connect directly to the infinite current of divine supply. And that current never dries. Belief turns waiting into receiving. It turns doubt into direction. It turns lack into overflow. Every time you say, I believe in abundance, your vibration becomes rich. Every time you say, I am divinely supported, your path becomes straight. Every time you say, I trust God's timing, your wealth accelerates, because trust removes resistance. Say this now, I am rich in belief, and therefore rich in life. Again, I am rich in belief, and therefore rich in life. One more time, I am rich in belief, and therefore rich in life. A belief is not hard. It is not something you have to earn or force. It is simply remembering that you are already connected to infinite supply. It is remembering that nothing can be withheld from you that is rightfully yours. It is remembering that God is not limited by your circumstances. He is waiting for your confidence. When you wake in the morning, believe before you plan. When you pay a bill, believe before you worry. When you see others prosper, believe before you compare. Every moment is a chance to trade in the currency of faith. And soon, you will see that your belief buys more than money ever could. Peace, freedom, ideas, favor, health, and opportunities that multiply themselves. Say this one final time, my belief is the currency of heaven. It pays for miracles, multiplies blessings, and secures my supply. Because when you believe, you are rich. When you believe, you are unstoppable. When you believe, heaven answers instantly. Money responds to faith faster than work. Because belief is the highest form of labor. And it is done. Your words are the bridge between faith and fortune. They are the invisible messengers that travel into the unseen and return carrying results. Every word you speak has life in it. It builds, it moves, it creates, it commands. Nothing you say is ever lost. It becomes form in your world. Say this now, my words are bridges to my blessings. Again, my words are bridges to my blessings. One more time. My words are bridges to my blessings. When Florence Scovel Shinn said, your word is your wand, she meant that you create your world by the way you speak. The universe listens to the tone of your spirit. Every decree you make in faith sets unseen forces into motion. When you say, I am prosperous, you send a vibration into the ethers that begins gathering the people, ideas, and opportunities that match prosperity. When you say, I can't afford it, you build a wall that blocks the very flow you seek. The word is the creative power of God expressed through man. When you speak in alignment with divine law, your words become laws themselves. The moment you speak in faith, the universe begins to rearrange itself to obey your decree. Say this now. I speak only what I desire to see. Again, I speak only what I desire to see. One more time. I speak only what I desire to see. Beloved, words are not harmless. They are spiritual instruments. They carry creative force. They move energy into form. This is why some people pray all day but see no results, because they cancel their prayer with words of fear. They say, I am rich, but later say, I'm broke. They say, I'm healed, but later say, I'm tired. They say, I believe, but later speak doubt. You cannot build with faith and tear down with fear. The tongue can open doors or close them. It can invite or repel. It can command or complain. Heaven listens not to what you want, but to what you say. Say this now. Every word I speak builds my wealth. Again, every word I speak builds my wealth. One more time. Every word I speak builds my wealth. There was once a woman who told Florence, I've been affirming for money, but nothing changes. Florence asked, what do you say the rest of the day? The woman admitted she often said, I can't make ends meet. Florence replied, then you are affirming poverty more than prosperity. Within a month of changing her words, that woman's finances transformed. Her new decree became her new reality. Every word is a seed, and your world is your garden. If you speak weeds, you grow lack. If you speak roses, you grow riches. The soil of the universe does not choose, it simply grows whatever you plant. Florence said, "Man must train his word to follow divine pattern." That means speak as if it's already done. Speak as if you are already rich. Speak as if you are already favored. Speak as if the money is already in your hands. Say this now: I bless every word I speak, for it creates my prosperity. Again, I bless every word I speak, for it creates my prosperity. Your words do not need to be complicated, they need to be consistent. A simple, faith-filled statement repeated daily is more powerful than long, anxious prayers repeated in fear. When your words match your belief, manifestation is immediate. This is the divine formula, faith plus word to form. If you believe but do not speak, the energy remains unexpressed. If you speak without belief, the words have no power. But when you believe deeply and speak boldly, the bridge forms and the unseen crosses into the seen. Say this now: I speak from faith, and faith turns my words into wealth. Again, I speak from faith, and faith turns my words into wealth. Words not only create money, they shape your vibration. They decide how you are treated, what you attract, and what you keep. The wealthy in spirit speak in gratitude and grace. They never speak lack, even when appearances deceive them. They say, God's supply is endless, and soon it becomes visible. They say, my income grows in miraculous ways, and the universe finds a way to prove them right. Beloved, you do not need to beg for what you can command. You do not need to fear what you can decree. Speak as one with authority. Speak as one who knows the laws of heaven. Speak as one who understands that words shape worlds. Say this now: every word I speak multiplies my good. Again, every word I speak multiplies my good. One more time. Every word I speak multiplies my good. Even silent words, thoughts whispered in your mind, carry power. Thoughts are words before they are spoken. Guard your inner speech. When your inner dialogue says, I can't, correct it immediately. I can, because God is my source. When it says, it's too hard, correct it. It is easy for God. When it says, it will take long, affirm divine timing is perfect, and it happens now. You see, words are not prayers. They are commands. You do not ask timidly, you declare boldly. The soul that knows its authority in spirit does not plead. It proclaims. Florence said, you cannot change your life until you change your conversation. So begin today. Speak as one who already has. Thank before you see. Bless before you touch. Declare before you receive. The words you speak are the blueprint your angels build from. Say this now: I command prosperity, and prosperity obeys. Again, I command prosperity, and prosperity obeys. One more time: I command prosperity, and prosperity obeys. The bridge of words carries you from belief to manifestation. Every time you affirm, you are crossing over into a new reality. Speak daily. Speak joyfully. Speak powerfully. Let your words become your wealth. And when you speak in faith, heaven hears you instantly. The substance of supply rushes to obey. The law of divine response is perfect. It never fails. Say this one final time: my words are law. My faith is power. My wealth is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. The greatest effort of faith is rest. Not the rest of idleness, but the rest of certainty. The calm assurance that everything you need is already prepared. The mind that trusts is never tense. The heart that believes is never afraid. True spiritual mastery is not in constant movement, but in perfect stillness. Say this now: I rest in divine supply. Again, I rest in divine supply. One more time: I rest in divine supply. A rest is not weakness, rest is power. It is the invisible signal to the universe that says, I have received. It is the vibration of completion. When you truly believe that your wealth is on its way, you no longer chase, worry, or beg. You relax, and that relaxation becomes your magnet. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith never fights. It knows that what is rightfully its own must come to it. This is the secret of the effortless rich. They do not rush. They do not compare. They do not compete. They move from rest, not resistance. The anxious man works double but gains little. The peaceful man works half but gains double. Because rest is not an activity, it is alignment. When you are aligned with spirit, your smallest effort carries heavenly power. Say this now. When I rest, the universe works for me. Again. When I rest, the universe works for me. One more time. When I rest, the universe works for me. Think of a seed again. It is buried in the soil, silent, unseen, still. Yet within that stillness, miracles are happening. Roots are forming, life is awakening, growth is certain. The seed does not strain. It simply rests in its knowing, I will become what I am. That is the effort of faith. You were not designed to live in constant pressure. You were designed to live in divine rhythm, to do what is guided, and to release what is not. When you learn this rhythm, money flows like a tide. Ideas come easily, opportunities appear naturally, blessings arrive on time. Say this now. I work when guided and I rest in trust. Again, I work when guided and I rest in trust. One more time. I work when guided and I rest in trust. There is a story of a woman Florence once counseled. She was overwhelmed with debt and could not sleep. Florence told her, "Go home and thank God that your debts are cleared. Then rest." The woman obeyed. She stopped worrying, she started thanking, and within a week, unexpected money came. The bills were paid, not through struggle, but through stillness. Rest is not a pause in the process, it is part of the process. When you rest, you say to the universe, I trust you. You release control, and control releases you. The moment you stop trying to make it happen, Spirit steps in to make it happen for you. Say this now. I release the need to force, and I allow miracles to unfold. Again, I release the need to force, and I allow miracles to unfold. One more time. I release the need to force, and I allow miracles to unfold. The law of rest is the law of confidence. Worry is doubt in motion. Rest is faith in motion. You rest not because you have nothing to do, but because you know the most important work has already been done in spirit. Every blessing you seek is already created. Every provision is already prepared. Your rest gives heaven permission to deliver it. Florence said, Infinite Spirit is never late. That means you can rest in divine timing. Nothing you are meant to have will miss you. No opportunity meant for you will pass you. The moment you let go, you align with perfect order. Beloved, many people confuse business with progress. They fill their days with activity, but their hearts with anxiety. And so, their outer life is full, but their inner life is empty. True success begins in rest, in peace, in trust, in silence. Say this now. Peace is my power. Stillness is my strength. Again, peace is my power. Stillness is my strength. One more time. Peace is my power. Stillness is my strength. When you live in peace, your energy becomes magnetic. You begin to draw instead of chase. You begin to receive instead of resist. The anxious vibration says, I don't have enough, and pushes money away. The peaceful vibration says, I am fully supplied, and attracts wealth easily. There is no need to hurry when you know heaven is handling it. There is no need to fear when you know abundance is guaranteed. There is no need to compete when you know your supply is infinite. The effort of faith is rest. Your rest does not delay results. It accelerates them. Because when you are calm, you are clear. When you are clear, you are guided. When you are guided, you are unstoppable. Say this now. Everything I desire flows to me with ease. Again, everything I desire flows to me with ease. One more time. Everything I desire flows to me with ease. Look at nature. It does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The sun rises without struggle. The ocean moves without confusion. The flowers bloom without worry. You too are part of that same divine intelligence. You are meant to live in flow, not fight. Faith does not strain, it stands still and knows. Faith does not beg, it blesses and expects. Faith does not panic, it praises and receives. And so I say to you now, rest, beloved. Rest in your knowing that what you desire is already on its way. Rest in the peace that comes from trust. Rest in the truth that money responds faster to faith than to work. Say this one final time. I live in rest. I walk in faith. I receive with ease. It is done, it is done, it is done. The law has been spoken, and the law is fulfilled. You are now walking under a new vibration. The vibration of certainty. The old patterns of fear, of striving, of anxious labor are dissolved. The words you have heard today have rearranged the energy around you. The unseen substance of spirit has already begun to move. Say this now. Money responds to my faith, not my fear. Again, money responds to my faith, not my fear. One more time. Money responds to my faith, not my fear. Feel that truth settle inside you. You no longer chase what is already yours. You no longer beg for what heaven has already prepared. You are rich in faith, and that faith commands supply faster than any work of the hands could ever do. Every great change begins with one belief, and you have now shifted yours. You no longer believe in lack, you believe in law. You no longer believe in luck, you believe in divine order. You no longer believe in struggle, you believe in supply. And belief, beloved, is the real work. Say this now. I live by faith, and faith makes me wealthy. Again, I live by faith, and faith makes me wealthy. Money does not come because of what you do. It comes because of who you are being. And who are you now? You are faith in human form. You are peace in motion. You are a magnet for divine abundance. Every vibration of your being calls wealth to you like a song. The time of striving has ended. The time of allowing has begun. You are entering a new rhythm now, a rhythm of grace. You are moving from pressure to peace, from force to flow, from waiting to receiving. Say this now. I am in harmony with divine supply. Again, I am in harmony with divine supply. One more time. I am in harmony with divine supply. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith is expectancy. Act as though you have already received. So now, act like it's already done. Smile as if your debt is already cleared. Walk as if your income has already multiplied. Speak as if your bank account is overflowing. Because the universe takes its instruction from your attitude. Faith is not pretending. It is perceiving. You are not acting, you are aligning. And as you align, heaven accelerates. Say this now. I expect miracles. I receive miracles. I live in miracles. Again, I expect miracles. I receive miracles. I live in miracles. When you speak these words, the very air around you shifts. Angels take flight to arrange your good. Doors begin to open where there were only walls. People begin to remember your name, to think of you, to bless you, to assist you. You are no longer walking alone. You are walking with invisible help. Divine supply is not something you have to chase. It is something that recognizes you when you stand in faith. You are now recognizable to abundance. Your aura carries the fragrance of peace. Your words carry the tone of wealth. Your presence carries the signature of faith. Say this now. I attract only abundance. I radiate only faith. I receive only good. Again, I attract only abundance. I radiate only faith. I receive only good. Beloved, the era of hard work without peace is over. You are now working in partnership with the infinite. Every task you take on is guided. Every idea you receive is divine. Every step you take is blessed. You no longer labor, you create. You no longer struggle, you allow. You are not meant to earn your blessings through pain. You are meant to express them through praise. Your praise is your proof. Your gratitude is your receipt. The moment you give thanks, the law is set in motion. Say this now. Thank you, God, that my wealth flows freely now. Again, thank you, God, that my wealth flows freely now. Do you feel that calm within you? That peace is faith at rest. That stillness is your prosperity arriving. You no longer measure progress by effort, but by energy. You no longer wonder when, because you know now. Now is the only time faith needs. Now is the only time God works in. Now is the moment abundance begins. Say this now. I receive my wealth now. I live in my wealth now. I am my wealth now. The universe has already responded. The waves of money, ideas, and favor are already in motion. Invisible hands are aligning your path, whispering your name in the right places, and arranging blessings you haven't even imagined. You are no longer waiting. You are walking in what you once prayed for. Florence said, nothing stands between man and his highest good but fear and doubt. And now those barriers have fallen. You are clear. You are connected. You are crowned. Say this now. I am fearless in faith, limitless in supply, and joyful in expectation. Again, I am fearless in faith, limitless in supply, and joyful in expectation. This is your decree, and heaven has heard it. Money is no longer your master, it is your messenger. It comes to serve your purpose, to fund your peace, to multiply your good. You are not chasing it, it is finding you. You are not earning it, you are magnetizing it. You are not trying, you are trusting. You are not surviving, you are soaring. You are not working harder, you are believing deeper. Say this now: faith is my work, and peace is my reward. Again, faith is my work, and peace is my reward. Rest now in that truth. You have done the greatest work, the inner work of faith. The supply is coming in waves. The good you spoke is now in motion. The wealth you affirmed is now forming. The doors you believed in are now opening. It is done. Say it 3 times with conviction: it is done. It is done. It is done. Rest in the peace that knows no worry. Walk in the grace that knows no delay. Speak with the authority that knows no doubt. For the law of faith has gone forth from your mouth, and it will not return void. You have learned the secret: money responds to faith faster than work. And from this moment forward, that will be your living truth. Because you are faith in motion, you are rest in power, you are divine abundance made visible, and it is done.
Beloved, life is not a struggle but a game of precise laws and divine order. The invisible realm listens with unfailing accuracy to every word spoken, every thought entertained, every image impressed upon the heart. The universe is not deaf, nor is it distant. It is quick, alive, and responsive, forever taking its cues from the commands of your own consciousness. To force the universe to respond is not to wrestle or plead, but to know the rule that thought clothed in faith becomes substance, and word charged with conviction becomes law. Man's word is his wand, and by it he draws to himself all manner of experiences, favorable or unfavorable, according to the quality of his inner speech. If he speaks limitation, the universe echoes back want and lack. If he speaks power, supply, and freedom, the universe hastens to deliver abundance, health, and joy. The universe does not argue, it obeys. The delay, the contradiction, the seeming silence, all are but reflections of man's divided mind and his wavering decree. When the command is clear and unshaken, reality cannot resist, for it must conform to the voice of its master. Many walk through life believing themselves victims of chance, subject to circumstance, tossed upon the waves of fate. Yet fate itself is only the harvest of yesterday's thoughts, the crop sprung from seeds unknowingly sown. To change the harvest, one must sow anew. To command reality, one must speak anew. What is bound can be loosed. What is lacking can be supplied. What is delayed can be quickened. The creative principle within man awaits only the fearless word, the word spoken with certainty and without retreat. The universe, vast and mighty though it appears, is but a mirror reflecting the inner decree. If one says, "I cannot," the mirror shows walls and closed doors. If one says, "I can, I will, I am," the mirror dissolves the obstacles and reveals the open path. Man need not strive with the mirror, nor attempt to rearrange its reflections by force of will. He need only alter the image he holds within, the command he sends forth, and lo, the reflection obeys. To force the universe to respond is simply to align thought, word, and expectation in one unbroken line of faith. Doubt scatters, fear delays, contradiction cancels the decree, but faith, steady and single, compels the unseen into form. Reality is pliant clay in the hands of the one who knows his dominion, who dares to speak as though the thing desired is already done. Command your reality now, for now is the only time there is. Tomorrow is but a shadow of today's decree, and yesterday has no power except what is remembered. The eternal present is the field of creation, and the universe waits upon the command. Man is not a beggar in this great house of life, he is heir, possessor, commander. The law is sure, the response unfailing. Speak, therefore, with certainty, and watch the invisible obey. For the universe is ever listening, ever ready, ever faithful to respond. Your word is your wand, a rod of power and dominion placed in your hand from the beginning. With it you are never helpless, never without means, never truly bound, unless you choose to speak yourself into bondage. The word, whether uttered aloud or silently affirmed within, is the instrument by which invisible substance takes shape. It is not idle, it is not casual, it is not wasted. For every word carries with it a vibration, a pattern, an unseen mold into which life's forces pour themselves. Man stands as a magician in the midst of his world, waving his wand with every phrase, every declaration, every belief crystallized into sound. To forget this is to live by chance, but to remember it is to command life with certainty. The spoken word is more than air moving across the tongue. It is charged breath, the very breath of spirit clothed in sound. Breath is life, and when man speaks, he releases creative life directed by his intention. This is why words spoken in anger strike like arrows, piercing and wounding. Why words spoken in love heal, restore, and uplift. Each syllable is a carrier wave of force, drawing to itself conditions, people, opportunities, and events in harmony with its quality. Thus, careless speech becomes careless creation, and idle chatter plants weeds where roses might have grown. To recognize the sacredness of one's word is to reclaim the wand and wield it with dignity. The word does not wait for tomorrow to begin its work. The moment it is spoken, it flies forth, seeking expression, gathering material, weaving circumstances to match the decree. If one says, "I am weak," the forces of life hasten to clothe that weakness in experience, and the body bends beneath it. If one says, "I am strong," the same forces quicken strength within the cells, align conditions, and summon vitality. There is no neutral ground. The word is always at work, whether man is aware or not. He creates as he speaks, whether wisely or foolishly, whether with intention or in ignorance. Children often play with wands in tales of magic, waving them carelessly, believing they hold no real power. Yet grown men and women wave their true wands with the same disregard, speaking sickness, limitation, and failure as if words were only noise. They forget the law is exact, and what is uttered returns not as echo but as form. Life never questions, it only fulfills. The man who declares, "Nothing good ever happens to me," has commanded his world to deliver misfortune faithfully. The woman who insists, "I am always provided for," finds supply flowing from unseen channels, for her word has drawn provision. The difference is not in fate, but in speech. The subconscious mind is the obedient servant of the word. It does not reason, it does not argue, it does not resist. It accepts every declaration as truth and sets in motion the processes to bring it forth. When one repeats, "I never remember names," the subconscious ensures forgetfulness. When one affirms, "My memory is clear and retentive," the subconscious sharpens recall. This hidden realm of mind is like fertile soil, incapable of rejecting seed. It produces alike the thorn and the blossom, according to what is sown by the word. Man, therefore, is gardener as well as magician, and his harvest is but the fruit of his spoken decree. To understand that the word is the wand is to guard speech as treasure. One begins to refrain from complaint, for complaint multiplies the very lack it laments. One ceases to rehearse fears, for every word of dread summons the shape of that fear. One no longer indulges in self-depreciation, for to belittle oneself is to command belittling conditions. Instead, words are chosen with precision, clothed with faith, and released with expectation. The command is given as if the thing were already done, and the universe cannot but obey. Some believe they must strain force, or struggle for results, yet the wand is effortless. The magician does not wrestle with the air, he waves and the unseen responds. So too, man does not need to push with human will, for the word spoken in faith carries its own power. "Let there be light" is the eternal formula. Not, "I will labor until light appears." To say, "I am whole," is to call wholeness into form, even if every sense denies it. To say, "I prosper," is to command prosperity, even if the purse is empty. The word holds sway above appearances, and appearances must eventually conform to the higher decree. It is not enough, however, to speak once and then contradict with doubt. The wand must be wielded with consistency. A magician does not wave one way to create and then undo his work with a careless flick. Likewise, the tongue must be disciplined, the mind held steady, the inner speech aligned with the outer. To declare health while constantly telling others how ill one feels is to neutralize the command. To affirm abundance while repeating, "I cannot afford it," is to cancel the decree. The word is not play, it is law. It must be spoken with unwavering certainty if it is to bear fruit. Every sacred text, every wisdom tradition, has hinted at this mystery that speech is power, that word is creation. The ancients knew that names carried force, that blessings released life, that curses bound and destroyed. They guarded their speech with reverence, understanding that to speak was to decree. In the same manner, each individual today holds the same wand, whether he acknowledges it or not. His environment, his relationships, his circumstances all bear witness to the words he has spoken and believed. Change the word, and the world changes. Alter the decree, and the form dissolves to take new shape. Your word is your wand, sharper than the sword, swifter than the arrow, stronger than any earthly tool. It pierces the invisible, cutting paths through resistance, drawing unseen substance into form. It governs the body. It commands supply, it opens doors, it establishes destiny. The careless wave of the wand brings chaos, but the deliberate wave brings order, harmony, and fulfillment. Man holds in his own mouth the power of life and death, of blessing and curse, of freedom and bondage. The wand is never taken from him. It rests always at his lips, waiting for the command. Whether he speaks woe or wealth, weakness or strength, failure or success, the word flies forth, and life obeys. The universe mirrors inner command with flawless precision, reflecting not what man wishes vaguely, but what he decrees with conviction. Life is not arbitrary, nor is it ruled by accident. Every circumstance that appears, every face encountered, every opportunity or obstacle, is but a reflection of the thought, belief, and word impressed upon the unseen. As a mirror returns faithfully the image set before it, so does the universe return faithfully the inner command. If one looks into the mirror and frowns, the reflection frowns back, yet the mirror itself is blameless. To demand a smiling face while continuing to frown is futile. So it is with life. To ask for abundance while commanding lack, to pray for health while affirming illness, to seek love while confessing unworthiness, is to frown before the cosmic mirror and expect a smile. The universe has no choice but to reflect what is given to it. This law operates without pause, without preference, without judgment. The reflection is not sent as reward or punishment, it is the natural consequence of the image impressed. When man fills his inner world with fear, he meets fearful conditions. When he fills it with confidence, he meets open doors. The mirror has no will of its own, it cannot distort or invent, it only shows back what it receives. So too does life hold up to each man the result of his own decree. To understand this is to cease blaming fate, chance, or others, and to realize the true source of every reflection lies within. The inner command is formed not only by spoken words but by the dominant thought and deep-seated belief. One may say, "I am prosperous," yet if the heart insists, "I lack," the reflection will be lack. Words uttered without conviction are like faint images before the mirror, barely seen, easily overridden by stronger impressions. The universe responds not to lip service but to the deep tone of inner belief. When thought, word, and expectation agree, the command is unshakable, and reality must take shape accordingly. A divided command produces a divided reflection, confusion in circumstances, delay in results, and contradictions in experience. The law is exact, and exactness requires harmony within. Man often complains that life shows him pictures he does not want, yet he forgets that he painted them first upon the canvas of his own mind. The reflection of hardship, loneliness, or failure is not a punishment sent from without but a decree issued from within. To change the reflection, the image must be altered. No amount of struggle with the mirror itself will change the frown into a smile. The only effective action is to adjust the inner expression, and the mirror will instantly obey. The moment the inner command changes, the outer world begins to shift, though the full picture may take time to assemble from the unseen substance. There are those who believe they can deceive the universe by pretending outwardly, but the mirror cannot be deceived. It pierces the mask and reflects the true inner command. To say with lips, "I am at peace," while trembling with anxiety, brings only the reflection of unrest. To declare, "I am loved," while secretly believing oneself unworthy, brings experiences that affirm rejection. The universe listens beneath the surface and responds to the deepest conviction. Therefore, the work is inner alignment, cleansing of thought, purification of belief, until the spoken word and the felt belief are one. Then the reflection shines clear, and life answers without delay. This principle explains why two people in the same environment experience life so differently. One commands prosperity inwardly and finds doors of opportunity, while another, holding inner images of lack, encounters only closed doors. The conditions are not to blame, the mirror is impartial. Each receives back what he impresses upon it. One may look upon the world as hostile and unkind, and the universe will echo back hostility in countless forms. Another may look upon the same world with expectation of goodwill, and the universe will hasten to supply friendliness, support, and harmony. The difference lies not in the outer world, but in the command issued from within. The subconscious mind serves as the mechanism that transmits inner command to the universal mirror. Every thought repeated, every image vividly imagined, every word charged with emotion sinks into the subconscious and is impressed there. The subconscious, being creative and obedient, projects this impression outward into conditions. It acts as the middle ground between inner decree and outer reflection. Man who fills his subconscious with fear through constant worry sees fearful events reflected in life. Man who fills it with faith through steady affirmation sees safety and success reflected back. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts and reflects. The mirror of the universe is polished by what the subconscious holds. When one begins to take responsibility for the reflections in life, power is regained. No longer blaming fortune, no longer resenting others, no longer struggling against shadows in the mirror. One turns within and alters the command. If the reflection shows lack, one sows images of abundance. If it shows sorrow, one plants seeds of joy. If it shows delay, one impresses swift accomplishment. The reflection may not change instantly, for old images linger. But as surely as a new face produces a new reflection, the altered command must bring a new experience. The law cannot fail, for it is law. To command the reflection wisely, man must be vigilant over his thoughts and words. Each complaint strengthens the image of lack. Each criticism strengthens the image of strife. Each fearful statement deepens the image of danger. To shift the inner command, one replaces complaint with gratitude, criticism with blessing, fear with faith. These new impressions form new images, and the mirror obediently shifts to reflect them. It is not necessary to beg or plead with life. The mirror never resists. It only waits for the image to change, and then it answers with precision. The greatest discipline is consistency, for many alter their command briefly and then revert to the old image. They declare abundance in the morning and lament lack by night. They affirm health in prayer and speak sickness in conversation. They impress the mirror with confusion, and so confusion returns. The law requires steadiness. The inner command must be single, unwavering, maintained with faith until the reflection is clear. The universe never delays without cause, it only reflects the divided or shifting decree it receives. Once the inner image is fixed, the outer cannot but conform. Thus the universe stands as a faithful servant, holding the mirror ever before man, showing him not what he claims to desire, but what he truly commands. To understand this is to hold the key of transformation. The mirror does not lie. It does not falter, it does not invent. It gives back only what it is given, and it gives it back with unfailing exactness. The command is always honored, the decree always reflected, the image always returned. Faith compels reality, doubt delays it. For faith is the magnetic current that draws substance into visible form, while doubt scatters the force and leaves the command unfinished. Faith is not mere hope, not a trembling wish for things to turn out well, but the calm and steady assurance that what is spoken is already established in the unseen and must appear in due season. It is the unwavering gaze that refuses to be diverted by appearances, the inner conviction that knows the law cannot fail. When faith and word unite, reality hastens to obey, but when doubt slips in, the decree is weakened, the command is blurred, and life reflects confusion instead of clarity. Faith operates as the invisible bridge between the spoken word and its manifestation. When a man declares, "I am healed," while holding faith, his body begins to align with that word. Cells respond, vitality flows, unseen forces arrange themselves to produce the reflection of wholeness. But if he speaks the same words and immediately wonders whether they will come true, doubt cuts the current, and the healing command falters. Faith does not ask, or when. It knows that the moment the word is spoken, creation is already complete in the unseen. Doubt, on the other hand, peers anxiously into the mirror, waiting for evidence, and in so doing delays the very evidence it seeks. The power of faith lies in its ability to impress the subconscious mind deeply, for the subconscious accepts whatever is spoken with conviction. When one affirms prosperity with faith, the subconscious opens channels, organizes circumstances, and directs steps toward abundance. When the same words are spoken with doubt, the subconscious receives no clear image, no definite command, only a tangle of contradictions, and thus the outer world shows delay or failure. Faith compels because it is single-minded, while doubt divides. The double command produces a double reflection, and the universe cannot mirror what has not been clearly decreed. Many believe that faith is passive, but faith is the most active force in existence. It is creative, dynamic, energetic, a living power that pushes the unseen into form. To believe firmly that a thing is done calls every law of the universe into cooperation. Faith moves men and women into right action without strain, draws opportunities from afar, and opens doors where none seemed possible. Doubt, however, paralyzes action, blinds the eyes to opportunity, and closes doors that faith might have opened. Where faith strides boldly, doubt hesitates, calculates, and delays. The results in life differ not by chance, but by the ruling force of faith or the halting drag of doubt. Faith does not require visible evidence to believe, for it is the evidence of the unseen. To wait until conditions improve before believing is to stand before a mirror frowning and say, "I will smile when the reflection smiles first." Faith smiles in advance, and the reflection obeys. Doubt waits for proof, and in waiting, withholds the very proof it demands. Faith speaks the word as though it were already true, untroubled by appearances. Doubt measures appearances, compares circumstances, and concludes against the possibility. Thus, faith compels reality into form, while doubt condemns it to remain unrealized. In the affairs of life, one may see how faith and doubt play their roles. The merchant who begins his venture with faith, declaring success and holding to it, finds customers drawn, doors opening, and prosperity flowing. The one who begins with doubt, fearing loss, watching for failure, often attracts the very downfall he dreaded. The patient who receives a word of healing with faith recovers swiftly, while the one who accepts it with doubt delays recovery. The student who believes in his ability to learn advances, while the one who doubts his mind struggles. In each case, the law is impartial. Faith compels the reality commanded, doubt delays it. The imagination is the workshop of faith. When man holds a picture with assurance, he feeds it with life, and the universe begins to shape it. The image of wealth held in faith calls forth supply. The image of harmony held in faith restores relationships. The image of achievement held in faith arranges circumstances for success. Doubt, however, interrupts the picture, erasing and redrawing it in confusion. One day the image is of prosperity, the next day of poverty, 1 hour of health, the next of sickness. The mirror of the universe reflects only what is clearly and consistently held, so the doubter sees delay, while the faithful see manifestation. Faith is not blind, as some imagine, for faith perceives the unseen reality more clearly than the eyes perceive visible things. It sees beyond present obstacles to the completed result. The man of faith speaks of success while standing in the desert, because he knows the springs are already prepared. The man of doubt waits for the springs to appear before he will believe, and thus remains thirsty. Faith is the higher vision that compels the desert to bloom, while doubt leaves it barren. Faith declares the harvest while the seed is still in the ground, and the ground responds. Doubt digs up the seed to see if it is growing and destroys it in the process. The practice of faith requires discipline, for appearances often contradict the word. One may affirm abundance while the purse is empty, health while the body aches, peace while surrounded by conflict. Faith does not deny appearances, but refuses to accept them as final. It holds fast to the inner command, knowing the mirror must eventually reflect it. Doubt looks at appearances and says, "It is not working," thereby canceling the command. Faith looks at the same appearances and says, "It is already done," and compels them to align. This law operates alike for all. The faithful farmer who plants with confidence receives his crop. The doubting farmer who fears drought and ruin may spoil his own harvest by neglect or indecision. The faithful artist who believes in the worth of his work attracts recognition, while the doubting one hides his gift and wonders why it remains unseen. The faithful speaker who knows his words carry power compels his audience to respond, while the doubter falters and loses their attention. In each case, it is not fortune, chance, or favor that determines the outcome, but the force of faith or the weakness of doubt. Faith does not always bring instant manifestation, but it brings certainty that the result must appear. Just as the seed requires time to break the soil, faith requires patience to see the decree reflected. Doubt grows restless in the waiting, digs up the seed, and declares failure. Faith rests, knowing the law is at work beneath the surface, invisible yet unstoppable. Doubt frets and delays, faith rests and compels. The difference in result is not in the external world, but in the quality of the inner command. Faith is the master key, the unseen force that commands reality into obedience. Doubt is the broken key, turning but never unlocking, rattling in the lock and wasting effort. Where faith stands firm, mountains are moved, seas are parted, doors are opened. Where doubt rules, the mountain remains, the sea blocks the path, the door stays shut. The mirror of the universe answers both alike, reflecting the strong image of faith or the broken image of doubt with exact precision. Faith compels reality into form, and doubt delays its coming. Thought, word, and expectation must align if one is to command reality with certainty, for each is a strand of the same cord. And when they are woven together, the cord becomes unbreakable. Thought is the silent image impressed upon the mind. Word is the spoken decree that gives it vibration, and expectation is the steady gaze that holds it firm until it appears. If one strand is missing, the cord weakens. A thought of abundance spoken in words of lack produces confusion. A word of health held in thought of sickness delays manifestation. An expectation of failure contradicts words of success. Life reflects not what is declared in fragments, but what is aligned in unity. When thought, word, and expectation agree, the decree is irresistible, and the universe rushes to mirror it. Thought is the seed, the image created within, shaping the inner atmosphere from which all experiences spring. Words are the tools that give that seed form, breathing it into sound and planting it deeper in the subconscious. Expectation is the sunlight, the constant energy that nurtures the seed and keeps it alive until it breaks through into visibility. If thought envisions health, the word spoken must affirm health, and the expectation must be for health to appear. If any part falters, the seed withers or lies dormant. Many think prosperity, yet speak limitation and expect disappointment, and so prosperity remains distant. Others declare health, yet entertain thoughts of fear and expect relapse, and the body reflects their contradiction. The law does not punish, but reflects faithfully what is impressed upon it, and divided impressions bring divided results. The subconscious receives its orders most clearly when these three forces are united. If one thinks continually of success, affirms it with confidence, and expects it unwaveringly, the subconscious accepts the command and sets into motion the means to bring it forth. People, opportunities, and circumstances are drawn, doors open, and paths are cleared. But if one thinks of success, yet speaks failure, the subconscious is confused, and the mirror of the universe reflects confusion. Thought alone is powerful, but when reinforced by word and expectation, it becomes magnetic, charged with a force that compels reality into shape. This is the triad of creation, the perfect agreement that leaves no room for denial. Many fail to see results because they attempt to mix contrary elements. They hold thoughts of abundance while repeating words of poverty and expecting shortage. They envision harmony while speaking strife and anticipating quarrels. They affirm opportunity while secretly expecting rejection. Each contradiction breaks the flow of creative power. The universe is exact, it mirrors what is consistently held, not what is occasionally wished. The moment the three forces are united, the decree is clear and life begins to reflect it without resistance. Words spoken without corresponding thought are hollow, and though they carry some vibration, they lack the deep force of conviction. To say, "I am strong," while thinking, "I am weak," is to set up two opposing commands, and the reflection wavers between the two. Thought held without corresponding word is like a seed left unplanted, remaining within but seldom finding expression. Expectation without supporting thought or word is an idle dream, ungrounded and unproductive. But when thought builds the image, word declares it aloud, and expectation sustains it with confidence, the command becomes irresistible. The unseen responds to this harmony as surely as an echo answers sound. Expectation is often the missing element, for many think and even speak rightly but expect otherwise. They affirm prosperity yet expect bills to go unpaid, declare health yet expect symptoms to linger, affirm love yet expect disappointment. Expectation is the proof of belief, for one cannot expect what one does not believe possible. To hold the right thought, to speak the right word. But to expect defeat is to cancel the command. Expectation steadies the decree, keeps it alive during delay, and prevents the wavering that dissolves creation. Without it, the chord frays, and the reflection falters. This alignment is not mere positive thinking. For mere thought unbacked by word and expectation carries little weight. Nor is it mere repetition of phrases, for words spoken without belief remain surface echoes. Nor is it idle hoping, for expectation without thought and word is empty. It is the union of the three that compels reality. The farmer does not only think of a harvest, he plants the seed and expects the crop. He does not only speak of the seed, he places it in the ground and awaits its growth. He does not only expect harvest without planting, he unites thought, word and expectation, and the harvest is certain. So too must man plant his inner seed, speak it into command, and expect its appearance without wavering. The imagination is the workshop where thought takes form, and when imagination is charged with feeling, it becomes a clear command. To speak in harmony with that image strengthens it, and to expect its reality draws it nearer. If one imagines wealth, speaks of wealth and expects wealth, he cannot remain poor, for the mirror of the universe reflects his decree. If he imagines health, speaks of health, and expects health, the body aligns with that command. If he imagines harmony, speaks peace, and expects peace, relationships bend to that vibration. The law cannot fail where harmony of command exists. This alignment requires discipline, for stray thoughts and careless words easily break the chain. To hold steady requires watchfulness, replacing every thought of lack with the image of abundance, every careless word with a decree of sufficiency, every doubtful expectation with calm assurance. The tongue must be guarded, the mind trained, and the heart steadied. The one who allows contradiction to slip in continually scatters his forces, and the mirror reflects scattered results. But the one who insists on harmony within, thinking abundance, speaking abundance, expecting abundance, gathers his forces into one clear command, and reality must conform. The law of alignment explains why some succeed where others fail, though both may desire the same outcome. The one who aligns his thought, word, and expectation creates a strong vibration, a decree that the universe cannot deny. The other, holding conflicting currents within, creates no clear command, and so life mirrors only confusion. Desire alone does not compel reality. It is the harmony of thought, word, and expectation that does. Each must be brought into agreement, each must say the same thing. Each must point toward the same outcome. Then and only then does the decree become irresistible. The universe is impartial, and its mirror is exact. It does not judge the command but reflects it faithfully. If the inner world speaks in one voice through thought, word, and expectation, the outer world answers without hesitation. If the inner world speaks in divided voices, the outer world reflects delay, conflict, or failure. The power lies not in any one strand alone, but in the weaving of all three into one unbroken cord. When thought imagines, word affirms, and expectation awaits with certainty, the unseen moves swiftly and reality conforms. Reality is created in the eternal now, for the present moment is the only field in which creation takes place. Yesterday has already hardened into form, tomorrow is but a shadow yet unshaped, but now is alive, fluid, and pliable. All power rests in this instant, for it is here that thought is chosen, word is spoken, and expectation is set. Man often postpones his good, saying, "One day I shall prosper," or, "In time I shall be healed." But by doing so he thrusts his command into the distance, and leaves the mirror of the universe to reflect only waiting and delay. Reality answers not to some future hour, but to the decree given now. The eternal now holds the seed of every possibility, and what is impressed upon it takes root immediately in the unseen. To speak, "I am," in the present moment clothes the unseen with certainty, while to say, "I will be," places the command forever beyond reach, for tomorrow never arrives except as another now. The universe does not act upon wishes deferred, but upon commands issued with present authority. The individual who grasps this truth ceases to live in memory or anticipation, and learns to wield power in the only place it exists. He speaks not of what has been nor of what might be, but of what is now, and reality hastens to mirror the decree. The past is but a record of former commands, an outpicturing of words and beliefs long spoken. To dwell upon it is to rehearse the old decree and to keep it alive in the present. Many remain bound to old failures and injuries, continually speaking of them, thereby refreshing them in the eternal now. Each time they repeat the story, they issue the same command again, and the mirror reflects it once more. To release the past is to cease commanding it into present reality. The power to change lies not in rewriting history, but in giving a new decree in this instant, choosing a new image, speaking a new word, and expecting a new reflection. The future is shaped entirely by what is impressed now. It does not exist as a separate realm, but as a projection of today's decree carried forward. The one who continually speaks lack in the present finds lack awaiting him in the future, for he has commanded it to appear. The one who continually affirms abundance now finds abundance meeting him in days to come, for the command has gone ahead to prepare the way. Thus, the eternal now is the workshop where the future is fashioned, and man's every thought, word, and expectation at this moment is a brushstroke on the canvas of what will unfold. To command reality now requires awareness, for the mind drifts easily into yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. Each drift is a surrender of power, for creation ceases when attention leaves the present. The man who frets about what may happen tomorrow impresses anxiety into the now, and the reflection he meets tomorrow is colored with that same anxiety. The woman who mourns continually over what has passed impresses sorrow into the now, and the reflection she meets continues to carry sorrow. The only escape from the cycle of repetition is to anchor consciousness firmly in the present, and to give the decree with authority now. Every "I am" spoken in the present moment is a command of power. I am prosperous, spoken now, plants the seed of prosperity. I am strong, spoken now, stirs vitality. I am at peace, spoken now, brings harmony. To say, "I will be," is to cast the seed upon barren ground, for the soil of creation exists only in the present. The universe listens not to wishes cast into tomorrow, but to the word spoken as fact today. The individual who trains himself to speak in present terms aligns with the law of creation, and his reality shifts to reflect his decree. Expectation, too, must be rooted in the now. To expect that good will come someday is to postpone it indefinitely. To expect it now is to command its appearance. The subconscious responds most strongly to present declarations, for it knows no other time but now. When it receives the command clothed in present assurance, it acts at once to arrange conditions in harmony. The doubter who continually says, "Not yet, perhaps later," keeps the result always a step away, never allowing it to cross the threshold into reality. The believer who says, "It is mine now," compels the universe to mirror that conviction. The eternal now is also the place of release, for burdens of the past and fears of the future can only be dissolved here. One cannot forgive yesterday except by speaking forgiveness now. One cannot dissolve fear of tomorrow except by affirming safety now. To say, "I shall forgive," is to keep resentment alive. To say, "I forgive now," ends it. To say, "I shall overcome fear," is to continue fearing. To say, "I am fearless now," commands courage. The mirror responds instantly to the words spoken in the present, for it reflects what is placed before it in this moment, not what is promised in some far-off hour. The habit of postponement is the greatest thief of creation. Many wait for conditions to change before they speak their word. They wait for the purse to fill before declaring prosperity, for the body to heal before affirming health, for relationships to improve before speaking harmony. Yet it is the present declaration that changes the condition. To wait is to command waiting, to speak now is to compel change. The mirror of the universe cannot show what is not given to it, and if delay is given, delay is reflected. The one who seizes the now ceases waiting and begins creating. Life is eternally present. The sun shines now, the breath flows now, the heart beats now. Creation itself takes place only in the immediate. Every action, every thought, every word happens in this instant. To live elsewhere in mind is to abandon the place of power. To live fully in the present is to align with the eternal rhythm of life, which knows no past or future, but only the continual unfolding of now. Reality is compelled by what is impressed in this living moment, and nothing can withhold its reflection once the decree is given. The eternal now is man's stage of dominion. Here he writes his script, speaks his lines, and directs the scene. If he rehearses yesterday's failures, the scene repeats. If he fears tomorrow's troubles, the scene darkens. If he declares with faith now, the scene transforms. The universe is his stagehand, arranging props and scenery according to his present command. The stage is never set in the past, nor in the future, but only here and now, awaiting the word that brings the next act to life.